so. Hey guys. Things about to be improving one of these days. Good morning, everyone. Afternoon, all that kind of shit. Everybody always asks me what yeah, move the camera. Everybody always asks me what am I going to hang out? Well, what the fuck else am I going to do? I mean, the pot's growing. We watered everything. We filled up the 400-gallon pots. We got our cover crop. I met with the lawyers. I met with the consulting committee. I met with the environmental committee. I ate. I guess it's time to hang out with you guys. I have a story or two, and I have some information pass on to you guys that I learned today at the lawyer. Yeah, almost said, I would say 3/4. We're going to put neem cake on them tomorrow, and then we're going to finish topping them. And then we're going to, I've got 4 200-gallon pots. We're going to put them right out in the middle of the yard. So I've kind of come up with an idea. Instead of putting the greenhouse over there in that fence, there's an area right behind my house that could hold a 30 by 80 pretty good. So since my cap on my grow is 23,000 square foot, 50 plants, and it looks like you got to spend the money to actually get all the permits and everything. So if you're paying for a permit to grow 5,000 square foot and 50 plants, then why the fuck wouldn't you grow that much room? So they're kind of making us expand. Basically, I grow in 400 square foot. And that 400 square foot produces everything that I need to, but there's not even such thing as a 400 square foot license or permit. And I got to get this chart.
Let me know. It's done.
Oh, what's up, buddy? Sounded like tricky.
Yes, Dylan.
So,
okay. What's up? Are we live yet?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay, cool.
So, this is, if you guys have seen this, this is MRSA. This is regulations, medical regulations passed in 2015. So I've always operated under the medical marijuana law, but this is a little bit different, medical tiers. So we can qualify. So I've got a couple of lawyers and everything working with me on it, but I got to show you guys something. So somebody asked me today, they said they wanted to know what I saw at the lawyers and all that stuff and what I learned and everything. I spent about 4 hours today. So what I learned is you might need a fucking lawyer to understand all this. So that's actually set up for tier system and all the shit you have to deal with, and it's very complicated. So anyway,
wow, that's crazy shit right there.
Yeah, and I mean seriously, you know, people tell me all the time, they're like they figure this out or they figure that out, or people want to give me advice, and I take it. I'm going to talk to somebody a little bit later, but I had 3 people, a legal team today, sitting at the desk in front of me with that piece of paper in their hand, and they weren't arguing with each other, but they were like, well, I think that we should do the whatever indoor blah 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 combination light thing. Another person, well, no, I think it's going to be better off. So basically, 3 people that are lawyers can't fucking figure out what we need to do. So,
fuck.
Guess they're going to have a meeting, and then after the meeting, they'll figure out what to do, how it works, or some shit.
That sounds like a bunch of fucking fun. What up, Badger?
What's up, guys?
And it looks like pretty excited though. It looks like we're going to put a Skunk Works to work full time up here. because it looks like a lot of extract makers are going to have to split California. But the regulations are pretty serious. I mean, you got to have some serious money. I'm looking at dropping like 20,000 just in permit fees, and then probably 80,000 on the greenhouse itself. It's like tomorrow, Friday, the guy's coming out to see how much water I have and how much runoff I have and how far I am from whatever the fuck, you know. But we're going to be okay. But then this guy's going to basically go in my indoor grow, and I'm going to say, hey, this is my indoor grow. Do I comply or I don't comply? And it doesn't sound like I do comply. It sounds like I'm going to have all kind of shit in there, wheelchair ramps and things that we don't care about. And it may be cheaper to just do another build out. So
Wow.
we're going to find out. It's fairly stressful, but I think that probably the most stressful thing is when I was talking to him today. I said, well, we've passed the time where they're going to kick our door down and take all kind of shit in their wheelchair ramps, things that we don't care about. And it may be cheaper to. The hell is that? Who's talking?
No, that I just opened the YouTube window. I had to mute it real quick. Sorry, dude.
You're good.
No, I still hear it. What is that? That ain't me.
I don't know. What is it? I mean, I'm playing a little music, but not very loud. So what's everybody doing today?
Man, I had a busy day. I had a
Did
bunch
you?
of I had to go take care of some dispensary stuff. I went and got stocked up on some shatter and shit. What up, Tony? Good to see you, brother. Went and
What's
got
happening?
here.
What up, brother? How you doing, man?
Good, man. How's it going?
Good.
What's up, Badger?
What's up? How you doing, T?
Yeah, I got to show you something.
Good, buddy.
Cheers, boys. Cheers.
Hey, I had to get Badger to help me carry this fucker up from the truck.
What the fuck?
Oh, Jesus.
That's $600 worth of chocolate medibles right there.
What I'm talking about.
Oh my god.
Yeah, maybe you need to start that business too.
That's what I'm talking about.
Fuck. I need to buy me a kitchen.
Yeah, I tell you what, you want to hear some shitty too. So I was talking to her today, and she doesn't know what's going to happen. So like, they're talking about like her having to pay some kind of like $1 a gram tax or some shit for her fucking trim that she makes butter out of. It's fixing to get really complicated.
Jeez. Well, I just got done shucking some AK-630 seeds.
Did you?
Busy doing that a little while ago. Just had to take a break, come see what the fuck you guys are up to.
Yeah, we're just finishing up a day. Badger and Matt moved about, what, 8 yards of soil?
We filled up 400 gallons today, so.
Damn.
Yeah, we got the cover crop ready to go on. They're going to do neem cake tomorrow.
No, is it neem cake tomorrow? Yeah, we have a list of things we're getting done this week, so.
Right on.
Starting on the Nerd Till project, but it's not Nerd Till this year. It's just dirt, but it's going to become No Till over the thing. Hey, so Tony, we came up with a new cool thing last night. So the new hashtag is Stream Nerd because all of us are fucking addicted to streams. So we're Stream Nerds now.
Stream nerds?
Stream
That's a good
Nerds. Isn't it good?
I like it. Yeah.
I was up till 1:30 last night talking to these idiots.
Dong went on Instagram Live earlier, so he's already addicted.
Oh, shit. So snap. He's already there.
I took him to the dispensary with me, bro. It was cool shit.
You did?
I did.
That's
I
fun.
did. I took him with me to spend like $1,000 and fucking get a bunch of shatter and have a little bit of fun. And the chick there was cool, dude. I usually get booted, sub. Usually they're like, no, it's your phone. Get the fuck out of here, you know? Nah, this lady was like, right on. And she even let me film her, dude. It's cool shit.
Fucking free advertisement. What the fuck?
I know you would think they would be like that, but fuck, most of them are like, yeah, right, homie, kick rocks.
Yeah. I'm very polite. I mean, I get kind of carte blanche for these people, but I've had people say even to me, you know, because I like pretty much if I'm in place, everybody, hey, I didn't send one to Tricky. Will somebody send one to Tricky, please? Sorry.
Yeah, I got you right now.
I don't have his. You all bounce to him. All right, time to go early here. Get my medible in. I'm going to get my medible in before I even do a toke tonight. So, yeah, it was really interesting. as always, when I go out in public, I just need to go out in public more. So I show up to the lawyer and I sit at the desk or whatever, and I start talking to him. And she tells me, she says, well, I can't believe that whatever the girl's name was didn't stay here for lunch because she knew she was coming in. I was like, okay, whatever. It just went over my head. So we meet and every while. So when I come out, there's a cute girl. She's dressed in fucking TGA colors. Like, for real. She's dressed to the nines and she's dressed up in TGA colors. So she comes running over to me and she wants to get a picture. So I do the fucking picture thing and everything. I guess she met me like a year ago to the Spencer. But yeah, she thought it's like she dressed up in TGA colors because I was coming in. That's just, I guess some people think I'm really cool, but it always trips me out.
Yeah. No, that's cool shit, dude.
Cute as a button. She's like, hey, sub cool, can I take a picture? I guess so.
I don't get that. I get, hey, you on your phone, motherfucker? Are you taking pictures? Get out.
Hey, did you get your character done? Can we see your character?
Oh, okay. So I don't have mine yet, and actually, what I have, I can't show on live. So that's why I asked you to begin with if we were live or not, because I didn't show you.
Wow.
Because it hasn't been dropped yet, homie. It's that hot.
I showed my half-ass one before I fixed it. Come on.
No, it ain't the dung beetle thing though, yo. It's for someone else. That's why I gotta respect him. I'll send it to you, sub, so you can see it right now.
All right, buddy.
Trust me, when you see it, you'll know why.
No, I understand. I understand. So basically, Sid will be here in a little while, and he's got the questions. I was hoping Dago would stop by because he'll help me, but we raised almost $200 just last night, but I still haven't given YouTube an account. So I'm monetized and everything seems to be working correctly, but I don't actually know how that money gets to me yet. So I don't know whether it takes 30 days or.
Dago said like 60, I think.
Okay. Well, but I got to give him an account. So we'll figure it out. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. Like I say, we raised almost $200 yesterday for Jinx, Northwest Family for Autism. So I can't thank you guys enough. Did you get the lamp shield with the CMH? I don't have a CMH yet. If I had had it, you guys would be fucking looking at it on Instagram, don't you think? You guys know me. I take a picture. Yeah, I take a picture of what I eat. I mean, come on. But we're waiting on it, and I hope it'll get here pretty soon. What the hell? What you smoking, Tony?
I'm actually rolling a joint of Black Lime Reserve.
Ooh.
Oh, my mean lime pheno. A little one in a 3-gallon I had sticking in the corner.
All right.
I didn't want to kill the plant, so I just threw it in the corner and give me a little 2 ounces of head stash.
Very nice. If somebody asks my Instagram, it's the Weed Nerd 420. They killed my Subcool account. So yeah, I'm buying. I'm doing some housekeeping, so I'm trying to buy subcool.com. Some dude over in China's got it. He wants $7,495 for it. So,
Fuck, motherfucker.
but that's even worse than that. So I'm prepared to pay that. But I'm like, well, how do I go about paying you? And he sends like one-word answer. So, and I also want to buy subcoolseeds.com at the same time.
Very cool. I'm excited about the big drops you got coming from Heroes of the Farm. You said you had a bunch of really nice crosses coming from them.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Dudes, Scooby Snacks, Time Space Dude, and
G13 hash plant.
okay.
Thank you very much, Brian.
There you go, sub. Okay, check those out, dude.
On my phone?
Email.
Oh, email.
Yeah, I forwarded them right to you.
I'm confused.
Do you see the artwork?
Yeah? I'm just confused.
Okay, he sent me that and said that that's going out this summer for obviously Who's There, for that brand. It's gonna be sick. That's art that he was just hired to do. He just finished it today.
Now I understand what you're showing me. That's pretty cool, dude.
That is badass, huh?
Yeah.
That's why I was like, yeah, I really gotta keep it on the low, you know.
Very cool. Very cool. So yeah, I mean, basically, I spent like that's what I logged on to say. I spent like, did somebody else just donate $100? No fucking way.
Oh my God, they did.
The original bamboo rolling tip. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you on the show the other day, and thank you for the contribution. Jinx is going to be flabbergasted when we tell him how much we're raising.
Mm-hmm.
That is just fucking awesome. So yeah, anyway, I spent like 4 hours at that place today and asked like 1,000 questions, and I just got an email with like 1,000 answers. So we'll go from there. I'll keep you guys informed. Friday, environmental guy comes. So I think the biggest problem I have is my water here. I share a well with my neighbor. So the first thing I do is find out on my deed to my land is if in the contract it says I have the right to use that well or not. So some of this stuff gets kind of tricky. And I can tell you after that meeting today, they're not fucking kidding about like, if you don't have money, you're not going to be able to do this. I mean, it's going to cost pretty much everything I saved just to get legal. So fucking nuts.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Well, so far, Tony's in one of the best places. Michigan's got some of the best laws. They got a flat fee, and then you can just go for it. There's 8 fucking tiers to figure out here.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 5 tiers here, I think.
Yeah. Bones and Dunn says, what did your lawyer say? My lawyer says I'm going to have to spend a whole lot of money, and I can grow pot here. That's what we know so far. How much checks we got to write and everything. It's going to be pretty interesting. Now, my neighbors all like me. I'll tell you one thing that's nice. So one thing that really helps is I'm a nice person because all of my neighbors actually like me. So even if you do everything that I'm doing, and let's say your neighbor's a dick and he doesn't like you and he calls and reports you and everything, it could be yeah. Here's another one. Guess what I got to go do tomorrow morning? I got to go get fingerprinted. How about that shit?
That's madness. They really want to know everything.
No, they got to do a criminal background check on me to find out if I qualify for the California medical marijuana program because I have 4 felonies. And while they're almost 12, 13 years old, if they haven't been adjudicated properly, if they're still sticking there, I can't own a goddamn cannabis company. So
now that's a big deal.
And like 10 years, Michigan's like 10 years. If you ain't had a felony or drug felony in 10 years, then you can have a license.
That's what I think, and I think we're going to be safe. But again, before we start spending $20,000 on permits for the state of California, we want to make sure to start with that they don't say no. So it's all good. I got people to have my back, and I will tell you that my legal team are all weed nerds. So it's not just business. They actually care about me and want to move forward. So it's pretty fun.
I have a question. Could a well be put on this property if you couldn't use that one?
I'll have to find out.
Yeah.
That's a good. You can only have so many wells on them because it just ties into his well.
Yeah.
That is a good question. We'll have to find out. And I don't know how much these greenhouses cost. I mean, how much does
Go on their websites.
yeah, but it's not erected. How much is a 30 by 70 fully automated forever fried greenhouse in a slab? I mean, is it $200,000 or $100,000? I'm going to find out.
Right, depending on the size, probably closer to the 200,000 mark if you're for what you're looking for with like you said, erected.
Yeah, I want everything, but it doesn't have to be that big. I mean,
aren't they like 80 or 90,000 just for the greenhouse anyway, with all the bells and whistles?
I'm going to find out. Oh, so Bill Oz says 50 a square foot. Okay, that's an easy calculation.
There we go. Yeah, that is, huh? That's great.
How much times? Oh, that's doable. That's doable.
Malik, you hear the song? Sound familiar? He was making fun of me for listening to that song earlier.
Are you talking
what
about
now?
I love this song.
Look, the weed nerd's listening to it now. What? You can't make fun of me now, can you?
I was just busting your chops.
I love you, bro. I fucking love you, dude.
All right, I think we need to smoke some weed
Hell yeah.
or hash or whatever we're going to smoke.
I'm with it.
Where the hell's Sid?
Good idea. Just got done rolling this thing.
I saw him in chat. What?
Fire in the hole.
Fire in the hole. And so, not to take pleasure in somebody else's pain, but I think I've hooked Skunkworks into working for me permanently because I was mentioning this earlier. It looks very. What was he saying earlier about the extract artists?
They're just most of them won't be in business.
Yeah, I mean, it costs so much money and everything has to be regulated so much. It's your typical guy blasting in his backyard or in his basement, and he's doing it right. He's not going to be able to afford the fucking permit. It's like $15,000 for a blast permit. Then you got to have spark proof everything. I mean, you're going to
Your rooms are going to be over 100,000.
yeah to make the shit in, it's going to be $100,000. So all these guys that are open blasting, purging, and everything, they're gone. It's one reason that Matt Ryan's left, but I got to tell you, I wish him really good luck because most of the people that left for Oregon are turning their fucking car around and coming back because Oregon even has worse fucking laws right now. So kind of crazy. Big Bud Lover Cuvée beans are in stock and we have not run out. So I don't know why you're having a problem finding them.
Hey Malik, just FYI, I don't know why, but my Hangout chat is not working tonight. So just in this window, whatever, let's talk in there. Not, you know what I mean? Because yeah, I can't.
Let's try to get a video.
That's not much cost a shitload of money, isn't it? Badger showed me pictures of it. He's starting to scare me. It looks like a lot of money.
That's a really, really big one.
No, that's not. I mean, that's $1 million greenhouse. I'm not going to get anything like that.
Yeah.
And I don't have to have light depth, just so you know.
That'll probably save you a little bit of money then. If you don't need the low voltage motor, you don't need all the poles.
All I really need is a fucking greenhouse that the fog and shit will get on my plants in September and October, and I'm good to go.
Keep the dew off, huh? So you really just need the clear plastic.
No, I want something nicer than that.
Do you?
Yeah, that shit falls apart.
Well, but it's not the light that's the issue. Realistically, it's more the dew. So yeah, you don't want cheap shit though. I feel you on that.
The positive thing about a light depth is you can have multiple harvests.
No. But we pretty much grow all the time here anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess we could put a crop in with lights. I guess we could put a crop in like February. And it finishes in May.
I would put my last plants out in like December. So finish in February.
Plus, I love the fact that at fucking 55, I'm going to learn to be an outdoor grower after being an indoor grower for 4 decades. It's kind of bizarro, if you ask me. Pause. We need Sid. Sid's got the questions.
I like the new thing. Check this out. Watching that show on National Geographic about how big business is buying up all the California water. Is that true? I know Nestle bought up like 50 million gallons for like $200 or some shit.
Really?
Yeah, dude, true story. And they bought the license to bottle it, and it's some like 50 million gallons of fucking water, dude. And they only paid like $240 for the whole fucking contract. It's ridiculous.
How did that work?
I don't know, bro. That's literally patent because they pay for campaign promises and all of that shit during the campaign trail, and then once their dude's in, they get the fat fucking hookup.
Makes sense.
Typical capitalism at its finest.
Well, they're raping the Great Lakes. Nestle, they're pumping the shit out of the water over here. They got huge wells in this building of the state. Trucks coming out of there every 2 minutes. Tankers full of water.
Really?
We're surrounded.
Nestle in Michigan, man. They got huge wells. They pay pennies. Pennies.
Yep. Pennies.
I don't understand it.
Dude, it's crazy.
Penny a gallon or some shit.
Bro, we pay more.
They're pumping.
Sorry, Tony. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just saying we pay more for water in 6 months than they pay for in 5 years, dude. And they're selling it.
Right. Meanwhile, Flint charges city water. They charge them $100 a month. You can't even use this shit.
And you can't even get
Flint's got the scary water, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, get the fuck out of there.
I finally made it.
Chicken.
Hey, what's up, big man? How you doing, buddy?
On. Good.
We're just fucking off, to be honest with you. I just turned the thing on because I don't know what else to do it, and I could turn it on.
How's the new mic sound? Any better than the old one?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, very clear.
Nice. You got yours hooked up over there?
No, I'm waiting for the stand. I need the stand and I need technology. I don't know how that fucking little box works. So I gotta get somebody to help me.
What's up, chat? How y'all doing out there?
Life is pretty sweet today. We're just kind of goofing off. It amazes me how many people jump in here. 315 people are bored as fuck. Fada, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Hey, everybody.
There's the man with the plan. How you doing, big guy?
Did you guys hear about the kidnapping at school?
Talk to me. What the fuck?
Oh, he's fine. He woke up.
What?
He's fine.
That
He
was
woke up.
really lame, Sid. That was
God.
really lame.
That shit was so lame, I didn't even get it.
Oh, man.
Like the lamest shit ever. So I got a question, Sid. So my mics came today, and I don't have a stand for it, but so I just plugged the cord into this little box you got me, and then plugged the box in the computer. But then what?
That should be it.
That's it?
Well, you've been to a dope to grow your mic stand.
On your on the right hand on the bottom, there should be a little speaker. You right click it. There's playback devices, and then you switch over to that audio interface. Or I think you do it through Google Hangouts. You have to point at it.
Dun dun dun! As Dung comes through and interrupts the stream for a sick ass Rob Moore cartoon. Here we go, people. Hold on one second.
Cartoon?
Oh, you heard me correctly, yo. I'm gonna get you right now, Subby. I got you this one. How do I screen share? Come on, computer. There we go.
In the meantime, I'm going to leave a link in the chat for everyone to drop questions for today.
Hey, Sub, click on me so that it puts me up or whatever.
Oh no, it's Fada.
You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Get up, stand up, wait for the king of the road. Let's make the most of this beautiful day. Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Won't you be my neighbor?
That's fucking hilarious, dude.
That's pretty fucking good. I love the little girl mouse dancing around.
Oh yeah.
That's fucking funny. Oh, this guy's too funny. He really is.
Thought you guys might like that. Fada just sent it to me and was like, play it for me, Dung. I said, hell yeah, bro. You know I will.
That's fucking funny as shit. All right, Sid, you have questions from last night. I know you do.
If you want to jump in, Fada, go ahead, man. I sent you the link.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure do. Let's get these two out of the way, though, because they're from today.
Okay.
What is the best strain for autism?
That's hard. I know Boomy takes CBD, so it's going to be CBD. So, I mean, I'm not a doctor. Anytime y'all ask me that advice, I'm giving you my opinion. But I would say Pennywise, absolutely. It's a high CBD strain, and CBD seems to be the best thing to work from autistic kids. But with autism, it's all over the place. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it hurts. So, first one we talked about that'd be Jinx Proof. So next time we have him on, maybe we can talk more about that.
All right. Next question would be, would you recommend taking down the plants from drying if they almost snap and are slightly bendy, but some tiny stems snap? Thanks.
Yeah, that sounds just about perfect. Yeah, I mean, you want your stems to be slightly flexible. You don't want them breaking all over the place. You're still going to have a good bit of moisture in the stem that's inside the bud. So that's kind of the test we do. If it bends, it's not ready. And if we hear that little snap on the thin branches, I would get it cleaned up and get in a jar as soon as possible.
All right. What do you think about sourcing from Uruguay? Do you think their strains are less quote unquote contaminated by indica, or your thoughts?
I have no fucking idea what he's even talking about. So sorry about that, brother.
Genetics from another part of the world, I guess.
I got Uruguay, but I don't know shit about Uruguay. So.
Right.
Sorry.
Someone asked your opinion on what you know about breeding fem seeds.
I don't breed fem seeds. If you take a fem seed and you cross it times a male, it will make seeds, and some of them will be female. They won't all be female, but the chance of a hermaphrodism is massive, and that's why I don't mess with it. Now, I was talking to somebody on the panel the other day that grows fem seeds and actually likes them, but I can't stand it, and I don't understand why anybody would want to. Everybody talks about speed and everything, but me and him just ran. We have 4 quirkles in there. It took us, 40 days to pull the 5 males? If you have 40 days to find females, then you don't really need to be growing cannabis. I say that shit all the time, but it's honest. Growing cannabis, especially good cannabis, is not a fucking hot pocket. It requires time and effort and patience. So it's my spiel on that.
Yeah, everybody wants the easy way and to cut corners, though, Sub. You know that.
Ready for the next one, Sub?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you invested in a rooftop solar system to offset PG&E bills? I'm considering it.
In my property, yeah, we have thought about it. My roof needs replacing on this house. It's about $150,000 roof, and it doesn't leak, but it's an old concrete tile roof. You can't walk on it. So if you can't walk on it, you can't mount solar panels to it. So they want to replace my roof before they do that. Both of them, the roof on my house and the roof on my garage. I just don't have the money to do it. And to go ground mount, which is better, I'll tell you a little bit about solar. So if you put them on your roof, especially where I live, you're going to have to clean them once a month. We have dust here so fucking bad. You have to wash your car every week. So they recommend you actually put solar panels on the ground so you can get out there and wash them off with a squeegee. And I would have to cut down like 60 oak trees to have enough. I think if you can supplement your power with some solar panels, I think it's a really good idea. And certainly solar panels have come a long way. But like mine, I need 8,000 kilowatts of solar panels, and that is a shitload of solar panels. So sometimes it's practical, sometimes it's not. My biggest problem is I don't want to cut any trees down.
Hey, Father Mike.
Hey, everybody. How you doing tonight? Wasn't that Roger Moore's? Isn't that Rob?
Rob Moore.
Rob Moore. Isn't that shit funny? I never expected that so soon. You know, we talked to him about doing something for this Wake and Bake show that Ruby and I wanted to do. And Rob, I get home and I pop in my thing, and Rob's got this thing up there. I pop it open, and I thought it was just a still picture or something. And I hit the play. I like fell out of my chair. I'm still laughing, dude. I've watched it like 10 times already. It's crazy. Ruby's over here. She loves it, man. And thanks for hooking us up, Rob. And we'll take care of you, bro. You know, no problem with that.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's kind of funny how many cartoons he's actually doing now. I'm enjoying the hell out of it.
That part in there with Miles, that's just funny as shit, dude. I'm telling you, man, he nails it. He just nails it, you know?
I was laughing my ass. I can't wait, Rob. We basically, if you want to email me, dude, we can talk, but we would like to do a combination.
What's he saying? Rob, sub your next.
Yeah. I would like to do
blessings to you and the wife.
I'll update it for you weekly at Bottom Mike.
Oh, wow. Weekly.
Right? No,
hey, I'm sorry. My mic was on. Ruby's talking to me. I just realized my mic was on, so I don't mean to be stepping on you there, so.
No, you're okay, Fod. It's all good, man. No, I'm just saying, you know, Rob is going to do one. I hope he's going to do one for GrowTube Roundtable and the Weed Nerd Live Show. And now my idea is he gets us all on there. He gets. Is
it Mendo Dope just popped in there? Hey, bro.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's happening, guys?
Damn,
What's going on, fellas?
Just chilling. Just about to get some trim on our fresh Locomotion indoor run.
Nice.
We saw Sub went live, so we're like, shit, let's join him. Let's get on there and say what's up to everybody.
That's what we'd like to hear, boys. We love it when you come around for sure. You join us more often.
Hell yeah.
Like to see
Well,
the
we
Method Sevens. Shout out Method 7 for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Method 7's always got our back for a while. They got the whole band sponsored right now, so we got nothing but love to the Method 7 crew.
Yeah, they just.
I'm loving those stills you're putting up on Instagram, guys. They look fucking awesome.
Nice, thanks, brother. Well, we didn't mean to interrupt and jump in. Y'all can continue, and we'll just hop in and whatever.
No, I just got a link to one of your videos.
Oh, really?
Did you get that fixed? Because the link was broken on my end for some reason.
I don't know.
It just popped into my email here just like probably 10, 20 minutes ago, and I clicked on it, and it had that sad face, and so did I.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, we just tried to upload it, and for some reason our computer's been giving us problems, and it doesn't upload into HD.
That's weird.
So sometimes we have to restart the computer and start it again. But since we wanted to get on here, we're just gonna do it after we're done.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it, man. You guys keeping me entertained. I tell you, I love it.
Yeah, we're trying to do once a week.
Yeah. Got to keep it flowing for sure.
Oldie and Bleezy, I met with the pot lawyer today. It was really interesting. And I mean, you guys can call me and talk, but without saying too much, you guys know what I'm saying. So our previous advisor, the one with the Indian tribe and the church, that shit's not going to fly. And I got real information for you guys when we talk, okay?
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's been we just heard something about online that the Ukiahs or Mendocino County is doing the permit thing again. They just
Here's my rec book. This is my
Wait,
fucking
so they are doing the permits then?
book
yeah,
of
they
rules.
just announced it again.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's-
saw you put a picture online with that big ass grid looking
Oh, shit.
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they weren't arguing, but they were like, well, I think he needs a light commercial, and I think he needs a nursery. And oh, well, the nursery's so complicated. They have more strict regulations because of the clone count. And what about it? And I was like, fuck, you guys call me when you know what the fuck you got to do. So,
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
but I think, and the guy's coming Friday, so you know where the garden is now. And I've been thinking about this all wrong. I'm thinking about putting a greenhouse back there in that area. Well, you know, right behind my house where the oleanders are, there's a fucking section about 100 by 200. It's full fucking sun.
Yeah.
So if the guy approves me, I'm just going to put a fucking forever flowering greenhouse right in front of the house.
Oh,
That would be
nice.
fucking sick.
Yep.
Easy to work in, easy to get to, less yard work,
Let's hill.
less hill. Stand right on the deck and look at them. So
Yeah, the sun is so much better too. You're gonna need that sun as much as you can get it.
yeah, no, I'm like I say, the biggest thing here is water runoff and water usage. So the guy basically will come here, let me know Friday. He'll tell me what I can do. You know how much water I can use. One of the other things I want to find out is my grow up top. I mean, you guys know it's an old school outlaw grow. It's it's a garage full of dope, and apparently there's all kind of codes and stuff that you have to comply to, and it may actually be more cost effective to build out another one than retrofit. But this guy can tell me all that. He can say your door's not wide enough or your whatever. And then he's not like a compliance officer or anything. He works for you. So he tells you what you need to do, and then you do what he says. So
Nice.
Yeah,
step one.
that's good to get some kind of new news.
Yeah. I'm in the worst water area, but I'm in one of the best areas for permits.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Our the water guy too that was helping us out, that he's working with the board, and he's going to start figuring everything out of what people have to do. He said we were in a good spot for water too, because we didn't have a hill, we had no streams running around, no chance of any contamination things or whatever they're looking for.
Yeah, no, it's like I say, it is what it is, but it's stressful and exciting all at the same time. I would say the one thing that actually tripped me out the most was I had been under the impression that we have passed the time where they can kick in your door with a battering ram and take you down, and I figured nowadays we're in this time of compliance, maybe a letter. And my lawyers told me today that absolutely not. If you get on their radar and they want to come fuck with you, they absolutely still have the power to come fuck with you. So
Yeah.
we've got a little bit before we turn the corner. So I got to tell you guys. So tell me about the new project. I mean, is that working? How's it going? How's it starting?
We're still in the process of they're figuring out stuff with the whole property, so it's still kind of in the air.
It's at about an 85% right now.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a tech question for you. So my my box window in the kitchen where the plants are, where the sun is behind the TGA stained glass thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Why wouldn't I put my outdoor seedlings there and let them get nice sunlight all day long, and then kitchen light for the rest of the day so they won't flower? I mean, why wouldn't I put them in sun if they're not going to get fried or anything?
We like to start them next to a window in our studio so they get that sunlight hitting right on them. Yeah.
Okay, the full sun, and then just the overhead light will keep them from flowering.
I think with seeds, they're not going to flower unless you start to give them artificial light and then take it away. So if you buy now, it's late enough to where if you never hit artificial light on them, I'm pretty sure that they won't even think about flowering.
Well, then tell me if I'm thinking right on this. So you guys were talking about from indoors, you have to match the cycle outdoors. Well, if you start them in natural sunlight and they don't flower, it sounds like you're going to be closer to outdoors. That as the days get longer, it's going to be closer to that for those seedlings. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, because you'll be on natural light, natural timing wise, to where you should just be ready to rock. Even in a greenhouse, Soil King started his seeds the same time as us last year. He did no artificial light, had him in the greenhouse. And ours with the artificial light, they caught up and they passed his a little bit when they were younger. But his never flowered. He never had a problem at all.
Yeah, he didn't use any bit of artificial light, so it was all good.
He started them, on February 7th or some shit last year.
No,
Super ridiculously early.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be perfect. Because we started ours 2 weeks later this year. We just wanted to, we thought it was a little early maybe.
Yeah, no, we're out of the ground about 60%. I am going to crack some Hercules. Badger's going to crack some Hercules. We're going to, because this is the last year we can do this right in front of the oleanders where the greenhouse is going to go. We've got like 4 or 5 200-gallon pots. We're going to fill those fuckers up too.
Nice.
We got more dirt than I thought. The 15 yards of dirt, let's put it this way. The 6 containers are almost full, and there's still a half a mountain of dirt in my garden.
Yeah, 15. We were getting 15 more yards for the rest of the pots we did, and yeah, that was a nice chunk right there.
It is. It's a nice mountain of soil.
Awesome. All right, well, we're going to go. We probably got a couple of questions real quick by we talk out. Sid, you want to give them to us?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. I was thinking of transitioning from soil growing to flood and drain tables. Do you guys have any advice for me and what to watch out for? You guys rock. Thanks. Robert Paulson.
That's a dung beetle question.
And there goes Dung Beetle in chat again, of course. All right, go ahead one more time, Sid. I'm ready.
All right, ready? I was thinking of transitioning from soil growing to flood and drain tables. Do you guys have any advice for me and what to watch out for? You guys rock. Thanks. That's from Robert Paulson.
To be honest with you, the best thing you can do is get nose deep in some books real quick. That's what I did. And even though I had been growing soil as long as I had, it still took a shitload of research to make the switch. And deep water culture is a lot different than flood and drain. And I do undercurrent recirculating deep water culture at a much different rate than a flood and drain table uses water. So it's a whole different ball game. And if I were you, I would just really do a shitload of research and know what you're getting into before you do it. Because there's a lot of research or a lot of nutrient money. There's a lot of table money. There's just a lot of setup money involved with switching over from dirt to that kind of setup. So you're going to want to do all of your cost research. You're going to want to do your reading as far as the horticulture itself in water goes. Ton of shit. Best thing you can do, there's a little tiny book that I found at a hydro store one time. It's called Hydroponic Basics. And I'll get back to you on who it's by. I'll actually go get it in a minute. But Hydroponic Basics, and it taught me everything I needed to know as far as the basics went. So that's a good way to go.
All right. Someone would also like to know how they get seeds in Michigan, Sub.
Well, the guy's right there. I'm looking at him. He's got on a fucking Galactic Garden hat. He's sitting in the channel. So why don't you tell him how to get seeds in Michigan?
Tony Tone.
You call Tony.
What's that? Yeah, you go to tgagenx.com. On the top, you'll find a spot that says Buy Seeds Now. You click on that, and the pull-down window will come down. You click on Michigan, and look at there. You got a big old list of all the retailers in the state of Michigan, their phone numbers, their addresses. And you can always hit me on Instagram, Galactic Gardens _TGA, and we'll get you somebody in Michigan for sure. Piece of cake. It's real easy.
The answer to that, all the questions are go to the website pretty much. So.
Yeah.
A couple of changes to the website. The picture of Brian and Jill and me have been up there for almost 5 years. So I asked the Mendo boys to try to find me maybe a vertical shot of me and them and a big tree they grew or just something like that. And again, this is not a disrespect. Brian passed away 4 years ago. So love him, miss him, remember him, commemorate him as a strain. But I kind of want to take the sad sack stuff off the page. So we'll put Mendo up there. And, we may put something else back up there, autism shot or something like that. But for now, I just wanted to improve everything.
Well, we appreciate it, Sub. And, we got some good pictures that we've got with you over the time. So we'll find something classic.
Yeah.
You know what I saw? I was looking through the pictures today and I forgot. A little old prospect came up there with me.
Yep, we have some of those pictures too in a folder. We found them. We're like, check it out, old prospect right there.
He got a pair of trim scissors on his fucking arm. What do you call the ones we use? The blue ones. Fuck.
Oh yeah, these bad boys.
Yeah, he got that tattooed on his arm. That's pretty cool.
Damn, that's hardcore.
Actually, speaking of Brian, that stuff that we made extracts with the Brianberry plant outside.
Yeah.
It was so amazing.
Yeah, it came out very nice. It was the fresh frozen run that we had Beazle do, and it was retardedly fire.
It was super strawberry ice cream.
Man, shit.
I don't know if we have any left that we could bring to show them or not. I don't know.
You know what? Y'all do something that I do, and I really appreciate it. Y'all spread the love out with your friends.
Oh yeah,
that's what it's all about.
Make some. You get. That's cool. That's the same shit I do.
Yeah, you've been hooking us up with flavors for days. I remember when we were working on the TGA 10-pack CD when you had the Hell's OG cut. You kept stocking us up with the jars, and we were smoking tough on that.
Yeah, I got to tell you something about these guys, though. These fucking guys go hard. So you drop an ounce on these guys like on a Monday or some shit. They hook them up. Shit, Wednesday they out of weed again.
It takes them that long to Wednesday?
That's because we have a little something else always, but stuff goes fast. Especially when we're working on the CD, we're chain smoking in the studio.
Gotta keep that focus, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we gotta stay in that groove. Got to.
And safety first, man. Safety first.
Dago's not here, but so I got I'll talk to Matt. But anyway, we're gonna hook it up. I mean, Dago's gonna do the Grow 2 round table from the booth at 7:00 Friday night, and we're hoping Saturday night maybe we can do a little bit of Weed Nerd live show. I usually can't talk by the end of the second day, but I mean we can pull off some kind of damn show from there. So
we could definitely make it happen.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun, and we're just going to have a blast. I can't wait. I mean, Badger's already got to calculate. He's got to pack 4,200 seeds, packs, 4,200 packs before April 19th, so we can be ready for the show.
Damn.
That may sound like a lot, but you have to understand that every 15 minutes I hand him a fucking piece of paper with an order that needs 250 or 300 packs. So we'll see.
Yeah, Badger definitely stays busy down there. I know that.
But check it out. I got Skunk Works. He's kind of stressed because it's getting harder and harder and harder to be an extract artist. So offered him a sharecropper share to run the new outdoor garden. And we're looking at maybe getting a forever flowering greenhouse, auto depth, and put it right out there in front of the damn house and let Skunk work it. I mean, he's one of the smartest people I know. He's a really hard worker. He's young, so his body's in good shape. And I just give him a fucking portion. I'll pay for everything, and we'll rock and roll a greenhouse. Man, I like the idea of being able to walk out there and walk in a greenhouse in the spring and fall. So.
It's nice being out of the wind and elements for sure.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know why I was thinking about putting it back in the yard. I guess because you do things like, I don't know, you get stuck in a rut. But when I was taking pictures, I was like, well, right behind my house, there's a big old goddamn football field, and it's not flat, but it's flatter.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
For sure. You gonna try to flatten out a spot for that a little bit, or just work it how it is?
No, I got to flatten it. I want it to be level. I'm going to live here from now on, hopefully, and I'd like to have a One of the reasons we want to put it behind the house is you guys know I'm not real ambulatory. So by the time I walk all the way down the hill and walk back up on a hot day, it can kill me. So if we put it there, the walkway's right at the bottom of the steps. So I can just spend more time in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
You know, the way it's also set up, it's pretty cool. I mean, you can drive a truck right into the damn greenhouse from that little path.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. And then, you know, I've just used the garden down there for maybe a vegetable garden or something. This year we're gonna do the 6 plants, but I ain't gonna put a greenhouse there. That's kind of dumb. So I can cut down my trees, but I can't cut down the trees in the neighbor's yard, and they do a shading at 3 o'clock. So
exactly. Yeah, they do hit you good on that spot from the neighbor's big old trees.
Especially as it lays down, you know, as the sun lays down.
Yeah.
It gets worse. All right, Sid, give me what you got, buddy.
I had to unmute real quick. Next question is, hey Sub, if I have a clone-only strain and the good male and cross them, do I pheno hunt the F1 seedlings for a male? Oh crap! It jumped back again.
It's one of those questions.
Yeah. All right. So
I hate.
I have a clone-only strain and a good male, and across them, do I pheno hunt the F1 seedlings for a male with traits of the female clone, and cross the clone-only strain to its male offspring with the same traits?
Yes, if
That's a
you want
really
to
weird
back
ass
cross,
question.
if you want to back cross, and you want to somewhat stabilize it, then you would do that. But we were talking on the show last night. You know, stabilizing is also another word between us for watering down. So you got to understand that you're a human being making breeding decisions. If you make one wrong, if you go with a recessive over a dominant, you're going to make a mistake. I just think if you have an awesome clone-only female and you have a male that you want to pick her from, once you get that done, I would fucking run about 50 seeds and pick the damn best clone. That's how every elite clone that we talk about comes into play, right? Yeah. Every elite clone that you guys are out there trying to buy for $50,000 or a blowjob or whatever the fuck, they all came from a seed. And some grower picked it out and said, that's a bad motherfucker. And then he put a name on it. And then the clone went around the world. And that's how you got Bubba Kush and Urkel and all these strains. They're just plants that came from a seed. And you end up with the golden ticket. So I didn't even name the fucking golden ticket, but it's out there. So I think that's an answer.
So what happens if you use pollen from an autoflower male? Thanks, guys. Love the show, says Zizu.
You guys are getting really better at the questions. I don't know. I've never used an autoflowering male. I would like to throw that out to the panel. Tricky, what do you think?
Sorry, I was reading a question that somebody from the chat had just sent me to my Facebook, so I didn't hear what you said.
No, somebody wanted to know, and I want to ask everybody this because you guys have as much experience as this me. He wants to know what happens if you pollinate a plant with an autoflower pollen. I mean, I think it's going to be a fucking mess. But
an autoflower male, to be specific.
Yeah, I think that would be a complete disaster. But me personally, I'm like you. I don't mess with FEMs unless I absolutely have to, and I've never grown an autoflower ever. I don't know anything about those things except they're half ruderalis, and that keeps me away from them.
I can tell you theoretically that the progeny would tend to be an autoflowering strain. So if the male's an autoflower and you breed that into it, then it should autoflower. The reason I skipped the question is
70%.
Yeah, so Dunk says the same thing. But I can't tell you if it's going to herm or do any weird shit because ruderalises are it's a strain cultivar of cannabis. It grows kind of weird. It does kind of weird things. It comes, in case you don't know, autoflowers come from very close to the poles, whether it be Russia. Yeah, it would be Russia. It also can live in Alaska. You guys know, just so you know, Alaska thunderfuck is a combination indica ruderalis. So they have to flower up there, and people have mixed those in with the genetics in order to speed things up. I've seen some really nice autoflower gardens online, But you guys know me. I'm such a damn purist. I would never let anything like that in my garden. So I don't know why people are so fascinated with auto-flowering plants and fem plants. It gets back to what I was talking about earlier. Everybody wants to microwave a Hot Pocket and make it dank, and that's just not how it works. Having said that, what was that strain that got done in 39 days? Do you remember that shit? You remember what I'm talking about?
I don't remember.
There was an auto-flower on the market a couple years ago. Maybe somebody in the chat
Lowrider,
can tell me.
maybe?
Do you remember?
I remember Lowriders were really fast.
Lowrider, that's fucking it. Damn.
Yeah.
Check out the brain on Sid.
They're a little tiny plant.
Yeah, little tiny
Yeah.
plant. It's supposedly done in 39 days, but I'm going to refer back to that infinite dankage theory that's not long enough for the damn plant to build up the proper cannabinoids to be mature. Bottom Mike, what do you think of these super short auto-flowering plants? Do you think they can get the job done in that short time frame?
I ran one. I'm not impressed. I wouldn't waste my time with it. They have their place, I guess you could say, like you say, in the darker areas in your poles and such, or, you know, where you just don't have that sunlight or you don't have a lot of time. You know, if I was a college student, I'd look into them because you could grow them in the damn dorm rooms, you know, you pretty much not worry about it. But that's something else. But no, I ran one time just to see, and you know, that is a good question. I couldn't imagine it doing anything other than what was bred into it. So take an autoflower male, chances are pretty damn good unless you're spitting it up with something else. You know, you're going to probably end up with an autoflower again, I would imagine. But that's a weird thing. I know that a lot of them popped up over there in Chernobyl after the big meltdown over there, and they found out that they ended up cleaning the soil. The cannabis plant actually cleaned the polluted soil up with. So interesting plant. Would it be profitable? Probably not. A college student or somebody who wants to hide it from mom and dad in the closet or in the basement or back room, possibly. I don't see a real big need for them. They're fun. You know, that's about it.
And I'll tell you, with everything that we've been talking about today, I mean, okay, so here in California, if I don't want to do anything, like I don't want to file any permits, if I don't want to do anything, I can grow 100 square foot canopy inside or outside. I don't have to pay any fines, any permits. I don't have to get any water rights. I don't have to do anything. I can grow my own weed, and I can make myself cookies, and I make myself hash. And that's generally what most people got into this for. But the world just changed like overnight. If you want to sell your cannabis, or you want to sell your hash, or you want to sell anything having to do with the plant, you're going to have to pull your wallet out, and you're going to have to buy permits, license, inspectors, taxes, more payments, more permits, and that's just the way it is. So you guys actually heard so much about, you know, big pharma and all that. Well, I'm certainly not big pharma, but I can tell you that it's going to cost every fucking dime I have in savings to get to the other side of the legalization movement. Now, if I can do that, I'll be lucky because everything I have will be paid for, and I'll have a place where I can produce seeds and marijuana legally. And then I can fill my bank back up pretty quick. But it's the biggest gamble I've ever taken in my life. And I was talking a little bit earlier. It's really simple. So I'm under 500 square foot. I can go personal. But if I want to go recreational, if I want to go medical permitted, or actually sell medical marijuana to people, it requires permitting. And so the minimum I can grow indoors under the permit's 5,000 square foot. And then outside it's 25,000. So if you're going to pay the money to have 5,000 square foot permitted, and then outside you're going to have 25,000 square foot permitted, you kind of need to fill the shit up. You don't need to have a greenhouse that's half fucking full. So it's almost like they want us to expand as big as possible in order to even stay in business. You're small, like let's say we want to do 1,000 square foot canopy indoors. I can't sell the weed because I can't get permitted. So it's almost fun. It's less scary. It's kind of fun, but it's stressful because, like I said, nobody really fucking knows. And then you get all this in, and there's something that, like, so if you haven't done this before, it gets a lot harder. I have had a cultivation, a transportation, and a sales permit for 5 years. So I've already been doing business in California as a marijuana entity. And that actually makes a big difference under the new law. You can't just step into the business. It's much more complicated. You have to have nonprofits in place. I do. You have to have C Corps in place. I do. So a lot of this was just really fucking lucky, but I'm not going to bullshit you guys. I don't have a fucking clue what's happening. I'm going to show up to a lawyer one day and they're going to say, this is the permit you need to get. This is how much it costs. And this is where you sign your name. And then I'm going to be in business. So a lot of people spend their own time. I know like Chef Joel spends a lot of time doing this stuff. What I really want is all the paperwork on my greenhouse to be solid, me not to have to worry about it no more. So that's what's happening.
So basically, here's a question for you, and I'll just throw that out there. You ever see the bus driver's face? Do you know who's driving the bus and all this shit?
Yeah.
Is it the state, or is it a county official, or?
No, who is it? You were muted for a second, Fada. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, I asked the question. Did you see the bus driver? I mean, who's driving the bus in this? Is it the state, the county? Is it? Do they have a super secret club? We brought this point up last night. You mentioned marijuana, and all of a sudden, all the hoops catch fire, and there's no asbestos suits to wear, and you've got to jump through this one and that one, and next thing you know, there's a whole group of them over here. I don't see any other company or business or anything that ever starts up that has to go through so much shit over a plan. And I don't understand it. I can understand regulations on the back end, buyer beware. If it's got 4 flat tires, you're probably not going to drive it off the lot. If the shit tastes bad, looks bad, smells bad or something, you're probably not going to take it home with you. Buyer beware. But gosh, it just seems like a whole lot of regulations over shit we've been doing for a long time. Greenhouses aren't new. We didn't just start putting them up last week. They've been putting up greenhouses for fucking ever, What do we got to have special permits for greenhouses now because we're growing a plant? I'm sorry. It's just nobody's driving the bus is what I was getting at. They're just kind of going down a hill and they're hoping they don't hit anything.
Well, I told the lawyer today and he kind of laughed, and I've said this on the show before, but I said, this was a lot fucking easier when we were outlaws and we knew we were outlaws and we acted like outlaws. This whole, we're not outlaws and we're doing everything legal, but it seems like it's a lot more complicated. So yeah, I'm envious of Mendo Dope, because it sounds like the guy that you guys are working with, if this project goes through the 85% project, he's got to pull all the permits and do all the regs and keep everything up to date. You guys are going to do the muscle and the brains. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. We're just waiting on him to get his stuff figured out, and we're just coming through and doing what we do and being farmers. But all the paperwork and their permits is up to them.
That's what I'm talking about. Of course, you guys will make sure it's legit before you get cranking on it. So,
of course, yeah, we don't want to step in and just be pushing the limits like that. But hopefully, they get it all figured out so we can do it how we want to do it.
I'm sure they will. Sid, I want to go for a couple more questions, and then we're going to go on break real quick.
Okay. I just thought it was funny that the worst thing about cannabis is getting caught with it.
It's always been that way, dude. It's always been that way.
So I think we may be able to save this dude's life here. So Jordan G asked, I have found something in my garden. I found half a leaf eaten today and have seen little holes for months, but have left it and I've been busy. I'm only vegging moms, but it's getting bad now. Any idea what it could be? It has rust spots, holes, and I'm not sure if it's related, but the plants do have minor little white bumps on the stem, and there are like millions on the 6-month-old mom. The worst plant looks yellow and rusty and bad, but there are others looking green. I have fungus gnats in my house, but I don't think it is that. I've never used pesticides. Would like to use predator mites indoors or something organic. What is it? And what should I do? Thanks. So I definitely think we can help that dude out.
I tell you, man, it's really hard from a description, but I hate to say this, but little white bumps, I mean, it sounds like to me you might have mites all over your plants. But you've got something on your plant, some kind of bug, and you need to get a look something you can look at it. So it could be aphids. I mean, it could be a couple of things, but you're going to have to get like a jeweler's loupe or a magnifying glass, or if you have an old lens laying around, you need to look through the damn lens and you need to find out what's crawling around on it. Here's a couple of tricks, and this is going to sound a little silly, but when I say this, a lot of growers in the channel will get it right away. So the secret to seeing bugs and catching them and everything is to like focus on a point on the leaf and stare at them. And when you do that, like mites will move. So if you stare at a mite for a little while, you don't see anything, but if you just keep staring at that one spot, you'll see the little fucker move a little bit. Is that how you guys see them too?
Yeah, if you, well, it depends on like how much they are, but yeah, if you hold it still, you'll see them moving around.
I mean, it's actually hard to see. I'm 55, so I don't have great fucking vision anymore, but yeah, they're hard to see.
Especially russet mites. Russet mites really hard.
What'd you say, Tony?
When they're eating, that's pretty easy to see. You know, a plant will look pale and it's been chewed on a bunch.
Yeah, and it's got these little, I call them pierce marks. It looks like talcum powder sprinkled on the leaf surface. What you got there, Mendo?
So right here, this is just like a little a zoom lens. You know, it's 100 by 60 times. So this is what we use all the time outside when we're looking at bugs, like because we had a small problem with the russet mites, and also like outside we had there's always thrips outside where we're at, and they do that kind of dots on the leaves, and they'll eat a bunch of the bottom stuff. And so that could be the dude having problems with thrips, or like you said, it could be mites. It could be a lot of things, because it's hard just listening to a description and not seeing what's actually going on with it.
You know what made me laugh? You made me laugh about your answer right there. So you literally had one within reach, right?
Sid's got
Yep, for sure. Right here all the time, we be looking at stuff.
Your place
Tell a
too.
ganja farmer he's got one of this within hand sight, right?
They all have it.
We all got it.
Mine's by my puffer, because you always need to look. And I can use my reading glasses now, but no shit. That right there, you can tell male from female. You can tell what bugs are on your plant. You can tell what bugs are in your damn soil. And it's kind of like, I'm going to make you guys laugh, but one of my favorite things in the old days when I start teaching people how to clone, I would say, well, what's the temperature of your clone box? And they say, like 73, 74, 75, something like that. I go, well, you got a thermometer? They go, no, I use my hand. Well, your fucking phalanges cannot tell you what temperature it is. It's one of the silly things, you know. You need a thermometer, and you need a microscope light.
Like this. See, this one got a leather case, and Mendo, I know you guys got one.
Look at it. Look at it. Every fucking grower here's got one right in his fucking hand. That's fucking funny as shit.
What's really useful about them, though, is that they go up to 100 times, and that's what makes them like shine for russet mites, because they're way smaller than spider mites.
Yeah,
and you can have. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a story. Story time. Short story time. So I was growing in Florida, and I was teaching a friend of mine how to grow. And by the way, this is the guy that said, the chicken's on fire, the chicken's on fire. So I gave him the clones and everything and got him growing. And he's one of these guys that thinks he was smarter than everybody else. So I was over at his house one day, and I was looking at his plants, and I saw mite damage. And so I said, dude, I think you got a problem, man. I think you got mites. And so we had this competitive thing going on. So he's like, I don't think so, man. And I was like, dude, I'm not gonna fuck with you. You got mites, dude. You better take care of it. He's like, fuck you, Subcool. You don't know fucking everything. I was like, okay, bro. I don't know what to tell you. And so like 3 days later, he calls me, he goes, man, something's on my fucking plants. I think you might be right. So I go over there, and he had mites. And the point of the story is the difference between controlling your mites and getting the fuck up is when you find them. Discovery. So, you know, if you're one of these people that doesn't look in your garden, like I'll never forget when somebody told me they had webs in their garden. Are you fucking kidding me? What were you doing? Taking a nap? I mean, I'm not gonna let no fucking webs grow in my garden. The worst you're gonna see in my garden is maybe on the, about a little bit lower than your knee, maybe a leaf right there, and you maybe see a little damage. And then you kind of look at it and you make sure that it's not anything. I do that 3 or 4 times a day, and there's nothing in a week. There's nothing in my garden. There's no bugs in my garden. But if I look at a leaf and I see anything wrong with it, I'm going to take a look at it. And it's just what you got to do to prevent bugs. If you let, say, aphids get all over your crop, so 3 or 4 days before you notice, they can take your crop out. 2 guys on the Grow Tube Roundtable lost their crop to root aphid.
Mildew.
No, root aphid.
Yeah.
One of them was root aphids, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So again,
Yeah, Pedro.
You know, he kind of thought he had them, and then he was busy doing 5 other things like many of us do. And then the next thing you know, bam. Mayla's showing us some pictures here. Okay, so this is aphids. Damn, that's some gruesome ass pictures, man. You're gonna give me nightmares, dude. What else is all up there? There's some gruesome shit. Aphids. Yeah, if you have this in your garden, run. Get a fucking flamethrower. No, I'm kidding. I've never been infested like that.
There's another side of this too, and I just want to touch on it. You know,
talk to me, big man.
Well, you know, a lot of times young growers, and I made this mistake myself. Anyways, overreacting. You'll have a leaf that's going through some kind of metamorphism. It's dying out. The plant's eating it. And you'll see that one leaf, and man, it's just like that badass moon rising. And you're going to freak out over one leaf, and it's just something naturally occurring in the plant. Like you said, you'll walk by your plant and see 1 or 2 at about knee level, ain't getting sunlight, and you know, maybe they're drying up a little bit, or they're getting ready to fall off and die. But people will see that in their grow, and they'll overreact. They get on the internet, they start freaking out on the chats and everything, and the next thing you know, they're dumping shit on their plant that they didn't need to do, and they're going to cause it more harm, trying to cure something that isn't really going on. Then, you know, what good it'll do. So there is a double-edged sword there. Don't overreact on things, but no, if you got something eating on your leaf, get you a scope. I mean, like you said, most growers keep them in their pocket of some sort. I got a little tiny one that lights up that, you know, I keep in my pants that I wear out in the garden to work in. You have to have them because you got to look at 3 or 4 leaves every time you go out there. It should be mandatory. It just becomes habit because you'll see damage from maybe a leaf cutting into another leaf from the fan blowing across. And you look at it and you freak out, oh, something's gone. And then you look and you just see, well, I tucked that leaf under there last night. It got rubbing on something and, hey, it took a little leaf out. But, yeah, don't overreact either. But if you got bug problems, there's so much help online. And, again, without seeing it, without being able to visualize it in your eyes. I watched chat blow up. There were so many different bugs named on there.
Yeah.
We're treating shit we don't know yet.
No, and I guess I want to tell you guys a little pot growing story. So this happened last year, and I'm bragging a little bit. We used to let Toke in the trim room every once in a while. Back then, he wasn't allowed in the house because I was married back then, but now he can come in the house when he wants to. But back then, he'd come in and hang out with me while I trim. So not in the grow rooms, but this in the man cave. Anyway, since we do a visual inspection all the time, and I actually caught these, I saw something on the underside of the jelly beans moving. Fresh, nice, fresh, that supple growth, that stuff that's just great for putting in your smoothies. Anyway, I saw something crawling. So I went and got a scope, and I saw it, and there was a bunch of them on there, and I'd never seen anything like them, and they were fucking aphids. And they were pretty bad. So I called Dirt Diggler, and I asked him what to do organically because I didn't want to ruin the crop. It was, hell, they just went in. So he told me about a probiotic, and I went and got it from this place. You had to get it within an hour mixing it, spray it all over your plant. It was these teeny little bugs suspended in water, and they ate the skin of the other bugs. So we put it on there. It's supposed to take like 3 days to work, like $170 or something like that. And we did exactly what everybody told us to do, even rushing it home, not letting it get over 80 degrees of solution. And after 3 days, I didn't see shit happening, dude. I saw bugs walking on my plant. So we basically got Safer soap, fucking $5-7 bottle Safer soap. And we sprayed those motherfuckers down. Now, here's the crazy part. You know, the guy's got a quadrant system. Only the damn jelly bean had them on it, nothing else. They hadn't moved over to the Time Wreck. They hadn't moved over to the Quirkle. They were just on that damn orange one. We were able to treat those plants with Safer soap 3 days in a row. If you know anything about Safer soap, it is the one thing I will put on a plant, wash off, and still smoke it because it's just damn soap. So we washed the plants off. That was week 1 of bud. They went ahead and budded out. We got rid of the aphids, and we got a good harvest out of it. And the point of this story was if me and another person weren't checking these plants every day, we wouldn't have found these bugs. And if a few more days would have happened before we got on them, where aphids can chew your whole crop away. I got to tell you, though, it always blew me away that they didn't move over to the other strains. Have you guys ever seen anything like that? Bugs are so strain dependent that they don't. You ever seen anything like that, Mendo?
About certain strains not getting and some getting them.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, Jilly was covered in aphids, and the time right next to it didn't have a 1.
Like even the little bit of russet problem we had this last year, we had them on the Crazy Train on the side of the house and a little bit on the Dairy Queen Cindy Dominant. And the Locomotion was right next to it, and it didn't get a drop. Like the Locomotion's so strong. Every time we've been growing it recently, we've been seeing it. Just nothing wants to live on it.
Yeah, I think there's definitely certain strains that are whatever they have in them fights off the bugs better than others.
Well, I'm going to take when the Candor girls come back, I didn't have that cut then, so I'm going to give them a cut of it because I want to know what the damn marker is that fucking makes mite resistance, because how cool would it be breeders to be able to work that trait into strains?
Yeah,
we're going to find it. I mean, we know the things that don't get it, like bugs love cheese. You know, they do.
Cheese for sure.
They love cheese. They don't like weird strains. They don't like Ace of Spades. They don't like Plushberry. They don't like the stuff that smells like licorice. There we go with the licorice again, by the way, if you didn't catch that. Licorice resists mites. It really, it does. I'm not kidding.
You're not kidding this time?
Yeah, your Locomotion to me smells like licorice.
Yeah, no, it does. It has like a black licorice, burnt rubber, tangerine, orange peel, grape kind of thing going.
It does. And so does Ace of Spades, and so does Plushberry. It's just it smells like medicine almost, is what it smells like to me.
Yeah, it's medicine before we even smoke it. I feel that some of them are like that just from the smell.
So we load the mail tomorrow. So that's a 7-day stagger.
Oh, nice.
And you weren't on here last night, but man, this place always teaches me something. So Grow Mouse and MV Med were in here, and they were talking, and Fodder was in here. And what we were talking about was, I've always known that in the wintertime, indoors, the male knows it's wintertime outside, and it takes longer for him to produce pollen. I've known this for a long time.
I remember you saying that, yeah.
Okay, and on the summertime, he releases sooner. Well, guess what I learned the other night? It's the fucking moon. It's not the damn temperature. The plants know the damn moon cycles.
Yeah.
And in the wintertime, the damn moon's in a different position, and so it takes longer for things to happen. In the summertime, it's closer. I don't know why the hell I didn't figure that out sooner.
Yeah, that makes sense. I remember Minnesota Nice. He talks a lot about the moons, and we've already, known that from OGs like Fado over here, probably that, the moons are very important. And he follows them to the T on his indoor rooms. On full moons, he waters more. They soak up more water. They do all kinds of weird things.
Yeah, no, it's just cool. And I tell you what, that ground table, thank you very much, Dreddy Bill. I tell you what, this super chat thing is awesome, dude. We got it hooked up. So if you didn't know, Mendo, we're giving away every dollar that we make from the inception of Super Chat to Saturday night at midnight. We're going to give to Northwestern Families for Autism, Rose and June. So I got the super chat hooked up, so I literally can just look at the channel and say, "Would you guys please give $4.20 to Jinx Proof from Miss Rose?" And all day long, people have been just doing it.
Nice, that's super sick.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. Yeah. So, and I talked to the accountant about that today, so I can give away like $3,000 without having to worry about taxes and bullshit. So
nice.
These guys got to get down here and hit this stuff. There's 481 watching right now. And that helps us get it out there to all the other media levels, and it gets starting to broadcast out. We got to share this love and get our network pulled together tighter. And how you do that is simply hit the thumbs up. I know it doesn't mean a whole lot to other people, but when you get into this electronic era that we're into, every little bit of connection like that helps us all, helps every one of us. It even helps you, the people in chat. We get more people in there, more people helping out with the knowledge, and hey, knowledge is gold, man.
Let me extend that just a little bit. So, you guys need to, so it would help if you guys explain to your friend how this works. So like Dago shows 7 o'clock Friday night, really in-depth scientific explanations of pot. They will take something and beat it to fucking death. They will take sugar carbo load and talk about it for 3 fucking hours. And then at the end of it, everyone learns something new. And I learned something every fucking time I listen to it. I'm not bullshitting you. I'm surprised. You never know everything about weed. I don't give a fuck who you are or what your name is. So you got that. And then Saturday night, my show comes on. We have special guests. We have a lot of the panel from the Grow Tube Roundtable on Saturday night. But what I want you guys to tell your friends is pretty much this is the new TV. I mean, we talked about it. And I actually asked tonight, by the way, Fada. I asked Grow Tube Roundtable if anybody was streaming. Because I don't want to act like the dick that runs everything. I mean, if you guys want to stream one night, I'll be glad to come on your stream. But we're now stream nerds, and this is the new entertainment, I guess, because it's, you know, I can go watch Bowling for Dollars, or I can hang out with you guys, and I can say, hey, Don, what the fuck's going over there, the executive producer?
You know, speaking of that, I was just thinking about the whole ratings thing and what we got going on with the Cup, and I think a good way to help us with that show specifically would be a collaboration with those Mendo Dope Boys over there. I'm liking that. What do you think, brother?
About which collaboration?
Helping us out with the show for the Cup, like just me, you, and Malik and Old D can get together and do some work.
Dago wants y'all to freestyle. He's gonna try to get all the speakers and everything there. He wants you guys to freestyle. So.
Yeah, well, we're down for whatever. We're down to promote it on our Instagram's got the most people on it. We're down to do whatever we got to do.
That'll be sick if you guys could promote it.
Yep.
They will. Yeah, they will.
Shoot us some links and whatever, and then we can we'll strategically drop that shit on there.
Hey, have you guys seen the Subcool video?
Which one?
The latest one from Rob Morris with the fungus gnats?
No.
Okay, you got to see this shit. Hang on, I'll bring it up. So he's going to make us a commercial.
Okay.
So to promote it, but this is what he can do. Let me find this shit. Sorry, guys. And YouTube, motherfucker, YouTube. Favorites. So he's made one for Fada Mike. Fada can probably pop his up there for you. His is fucking funny as shit. He does.
Yeah, I'm loading it right now to the website,
Yeah,
so people will catch that. You know.
Check this guy out. Check this out.
You got the green lights going for me. Thanks.
Check out the fucking fungus gnats.
That's crazy.
So Fada's got one, and I've got a couple. So basically, we're going to get this guy to make a cartoon that advertises the Grow Tube Roundtable and the Subcool Show every night.
Oh, okay.
So at the same time, we're going to get some stuff going. So we don't have exactly a schedule of events, but I'm going to work on that. But basically, it's me, it's you, it's Alpine Alternative, and it's the Grow Tube Roundtable, all at the same time. So we need to figure out a way to maybe joint promote that. But I will have a booth number. Middle of the month, I'll have a booth number. And so we'll put something together so we can actually get to it. But basically, it's 22, 23, 24. It's in San Bernardino. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun.
I lost my chat. All right, Sid, we got some more questions, buddy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I just saw Mouse join.
Mouse is in the house? Cool.
Yep.
Well, if Mouse comes on tonight without watering his plants, he's going to be mad at me. My garden's and my chores are taken care of. All my quarterly corporate taxes are filled. The plots are filled. Got skunk and badger on the plots. Garden's okay. All right, I'm cool. I can chat.
Yeah,
if
I'm sorry to say, man.
I ain't done his transplant. He's gonna be fucking pissed.
I got to water tonight.
Do you?
Yeah. So. Yep, secret garden.
Yeah, I mean we hit it pretty hard. Yeah, see, Grow Mouse is boycotting until his garden is top. You can just listen, Grow Mouse. Go transplant your fucking plants while we bullshit with people.
You started to talk about that TV stuff there, Sub, and I meant to jump in on that. Ruby and I haven't had a TV connection in so long. I don't even remember. when it was, but honest to goodness, I feel that this is going to be the new wave, because people are tired of the shit we see on TV. And when you can sit down with 10 or 12 of your best friends and family and have chat running over here with nearly 500 people talking about what we talk about, we all have the heart for this plant, you know, so sharing this knowledge is just, it's off the hook, man. Yeah. Dago, you know, I mean, there's others out there, you know, Hash Church and the rest, but they're pretty political. This is more knowledge, you know.
The Trichome Chasers are on tonight, and
yeah, I saw that.
That thing's like a fucking soap opera, and I'm not speaking bad of them. I want to make sure you know that. So the one guy, he jumped my shit because when I came on, they had the camera at some dirty laundry or some shit. I hung out for 30 minutes, and I left, and I said what I just said. Then he contacted me, and he kind of basically called me suck tool and shit like that, but I'm a pretty forgiving guy. And so he actually came back at me later and apologized. And he said, yeah, it was a bunch of dumbasses over there running it. And now we're going to change it up. We got some more people and everything. Would you come back by? If I said, I'm more than happy, dude. I might love to.
I'm sorry.
I hadn't heard from him. No, go. I'm sorry.
Dago's setting the bar real high here. You know what I mean? That guy's like, you know, he's like the Johnny Carson of late night now. So I don't know how anybody's going to top that show, and I hope somebody picks him up real soon, and we can see him interview growers from all over the world, maybe the universe. I don't know. Vader comes in out of plasma every once in a while back into the hyperspace, and about drives us all mad. But nevertheless, you know, there would be a great medium for somebody to pick up on cable, or I like this YouTube shit. You know, we're a bunch of rebel rousers anyway, man. They can't come in and have a commercial from some winery or some drugstore or something like that in front of our faces. You know, fuck that shit, dude. We're on live all night.
This show could not be on that. But like the video that I'm watching from Vader right now, that shit absolutely could appear on TV. Or some kind of Netflix stream, entertainment Vice. I mean, it's produced really, really fucking well. And it, you know, my shit's just all over the place. I had to delete the damn video last night because I went off on the BOE, the Feds, and 3 or 4 other companies. But there's people like Vader, people like Dago that actually do shit that are extremely professional. And yeah, I can see those guys moving in the mainstream before long. I definitely support them. I now catch. I now watch Mouse. I now watch Vader. Of course, I watch Dago. I want to watch y'all's show in the morning. It's going to be Wednesday morning. You're going to do it tomorrow?
Yeah, we're going to do it tomorrow. I don't know how it's going to work out or anything. You know, it's kind of new to us too. But we got to do this. We're going to jump in and maybe do. You know, this is going to be the Wednesday over the hump thing. Kind of fill in for the upcoming weekend, so to speak. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we can help out a little bit right now. So we got 461 people. So what time is it going to be on tomorrow there at Fada?
Well, see, there's the thing. We're West Coasters, so 9 o'clock here is our morning, you know, and that's noon back east. So those folks are at lunch.
Well, yeah, but that's okay. They can listen at lunch. It'd be like the reverse osmosis of Rush Limbaugh, a completely fucking different playing field. And so let's support Fada and Ruby. Let's get out there and watch the show at 9 o'clock Pacific time.
Yeah.
12 o'clock on the East Coast. And you know, if you want me to come around Fada, just holler at me, and I would be more than happy to.
Oh, so you and Dung and all of it, everybody on the panel. I mean, Miles, anybody that wants to drop in, you know, we'll send you the link. There'll be an hour before the broadcast, so at 8 o'clock on the Pacific Coast here, 11 back east. Anybody, I believe, that's subscribed to our channel will get the link in their email sent to them. But then, you know, we'll send all you folks, our family, links, you know, and hope that some will stop in. But nevertheless, it's going to be freewheeling fun. Just kind of start our day. We talk about some crazy shit in the morning, I'll tell you what.
Mr. Bond, I just want to let you know I just sent you the link, brother.
Well, I like it. Hey, Mendel Boys, while you guys are here, are you guys thinking about heading to the NorCal Cup?
Us?
High Times NorCal?
Which NorCal Cup is that one?
The June one?
Yeah, the high times.
Yeah, we'll be there for sure.
For sure, yeah. We got to be there.
All right,
Hey,
cool.
I got a blast from the past for the Mendo boys. Let me
We're
fire this.
thinking about entering into another cup. Maybe the NorCal one would be a sick one to enter in.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
the cup shit's kind of funny too for us right now after the last one.
All right, do you remember this, guys?
You're recording. Hey, so cool here.
The ice bucket.
Oldie and Bleezy, and you're here to do the ice water challenge. We're going to do a spin on it today. I noticed in the comments that people say, is to raise awareness for ALS, but you can simply get out of donating by having someone pour a bucket of ice water on your head. So I'm going to up the challenge. My challenge goes out to Kyle Cushman. So I'm challenging you to.
He didn't do it.
You didn't do it.
ALS Foundation and pour green water on your head. Let's do it, guys.
Fucking bucket weighed like 200 pounds.
Oh, that shit was heavy.
Oh, damn. Look like a man, too.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that shit was rocking, man. That was a lot of fun. That was fucking good times right there. Man.
Yeah. I'm glad
And
I
there's like
didn't have
100
to hold the bucket.
It was like 100 fucking degrees outside, and that water was fucking cold.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. It spread it got a lot of attention to ALS.
A lot of people did it. Kyle didn't do it, but a lot of people.
A lot of people.
It went around. It went around. So yeah, this year, I don't know if you guys heard, we're the outdoor garden. I'm going to do third for Skunk Works for sharecropping, and then we'll cover the costs and everything. But we're going to do it again, man. And guys can help if you want to. We're going to once we harvest, we're going to go cash it in and go to the toy store and fill up the dispenser with toys for everybody, and get on the challenge, get some weed nerds down there, some green nerds to fucking maybe bring some stuff. I know the year we did it last, we had people dropping off formula and diapers and all kind of stuff. I'll tell you guys where it may be the pot boom and everything, but where the boys live up there in the north, where Sid lives, there's some fucking families seriously struggling up there because the cops have been up their ass for so long. And I mean, I'm not kidding, right? It's still like that up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of poor motherfuckers in the mountains up there, so it does a lot of good for these families to get these kids to have. And I buy wicked toys. I buy the baddest motherfucking RC car, baddest fucking squirt gun, baddest fake gun, everything. If I buy the shit, I buy the one I want to play with. So yeah. So no, I think it's going to be cool. We'll get some drones this year, get some badass cars and shit like that, and we'll do all three of the Organic King's going to be my main hub because they're awesome. Mm-hmm. I can drop off a truck full of toys there, and they'll actually just take them to all their dispensaries. But you guys are in a couple places. You guys can maybe help me get in some places that I'm not, just with the charity. I don't give a shit about the seeds on this one, but I'm hoping we can raise $10,000 in toy money. Mm-hmm. And drop it on some people. And I tell you what, if you've never done something like that, if you've never been involved in a charity, I didn't do it till late in my life, and I can tell you that if you have the wherewithal, giving someone money that needs it is actually more rewarding than earning money once you have it. So, anyway. Thought I see you nodding over there. What you think of all this?
Ruby and I just had that conversation this morning. We got our hotel's room booked for the cup, and we were thinking about that whole giving away stuff. And I know you mentioned some beans, and we talked about bags and boxes. Oh crap! And now Rob did this great cartoon. This guy threw this thing overnight, dude. I mean, and that kind of love. What do you do? This is that kind of stuff. I said, we went up there to Nevada and we gave away 25 grinders to people we found out all over the world, and made their day. And you just can't outgive, and that's just how this stuff works. And so we were talking about what we were going to do over there. And I know, I've got some old High Times magazines, dude, with pictures on the covers, and people have been passed away for years now and things, and I looked them up online and stuff, and they're not even available anymore. But We want to do something big. We want to give back to this community. There's a lot of great people out there like yourself. Can't give, I'll give sub cool. Come on. Let's try. Anybody want to throw that down? Look what he's doing to his cash over here in chat. He's giving it away. I mean, you know, come on. You can't beat that shit, bro.
Dude,
weed smokers got big hearts. I don't care. Look at Mendo Dope. You know, Rob. All these guys, Sid, Dumby, everybody giving up their time. You know, Malachi and everybody. Tricky D's in here and Mouse over here and stuff. Great things are going to come out of this, man. I just think this is the tip, the very tip of this getting going. And you watch. They're gonna hate us because we love so much. You know what I mean?
Did you see Jinx get slightly choked up when he was talking about raising money for the kids? Did you see that?
Yeah, that was, I was crying, dude. I'm really soft there. You know, when you talk about this shit, my whole deal in this is medicine. I use it for medicine. It got me off the pills. I don't do alcohol, cigarettes, any of that shit. I don't even take aspirin. So cannabis is basically my medicine. And I'm still searching for that strain. Everybody does search for the Holy Grail. But let's save these kids' lives and give them a better future. And get them off this pharmaceutical shit, dude. It turns them into zombie monsters. And we all know that. We all know it. We see it every day of our lives. The vets are coming home killing themselves because we don't know why. But doggone it, the cannabis helps them and they won't let them have it. That's just, you know, my head hurts.
It does. Me too, brother. Me too. And Jinx said it on cam the other day, but we know for a fact, I mean, you know, Boomy eats fucking carrots and Boomy eats normal food. He doesn't eat garbage. He doesn't take pills. He doesn't drink pop. When you have an autistic kid, you pretty much want to get it down to the basis. I mean, you know, anytime I've ever seen Boomy eating a snack or something, it's not fucking sweet tarts or gummy bears or some shit like that. It's carrots or apples or, you know. And Rob does not give Boomy any bullshit. He does not give him any pills or anything. And he's actually undergoing cannabis therapy, which I would say the one thing about Washington and Oregon, both, even though it's kind of hard to do business there, both of them have incredible medical health for kids. So they really established the medical programs first and foremost. So anyway, my point of this long ass rant to help a guy like Jinx is one of the cooler things I've done in my life because it feels so goddamn good. He's so appreciative, and you know the damn money's going to the good cause, whether it's his kid or another kid. And, you know, he talked about it the other day, but so basically you take an iPad and you tweak it out with all these apps. And so you take a kid that's autistic and he can't talk. And so this thing, he points to the apple and it says apple, 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 apple. Door, milk. And so these kids are able to actually start talking. As Rob said the other day, a lot of these kids are incredibly smart. They just can't speak. They can't get what's in their head out. It's called trapped brilliance. Exactly, man. So
yeah, there was a video of a girl. They played it on TV years back where she had autism, never spoke in her life. They put a laptop in front of her and showed her what it was, but they'd introduced cannabis in her life, and this little girl opened up, and the next thing you know, man, she was typing words and things, and she never spoke before in her life. And it was just, I mean, you talk about sobbing, crying, weeping shit, dude. When I see that kind of stuff, I mean, that just moves me, you know? So I'm sorry about beating the horse too, dude, but I'm all on this, you know? So let's do something big. Let's all get together. We'll talk about this. I know we have times when we're not on the air, we get together as a little group off, you know, camera, and we're not live and stuff. And we need to do something big because there's $50 right there. Grandmaster level.
Fuck you. That's fucking
yeah,
awesome.
I'm talking. That's the shit right there, bro.
I'm telling you, you guys keep it up. We're gonna give Jinx $1,000. Well, they get 30%. So we're gonna. You guys keep hitting it. And again, you know, my big thing where you can register with your PayPal, so it's safe. And, you know, if everybody that watches the show gives $4.20, we love the big donations. But even me, when I was watching GrowTube, I hit the $4.20 button 2 or 3 times because that's a small amount to pay. And it's a cool amount to pay. And like I say, it'll be just cool to fucking give Rob some serious coin to. $700 will buy an iPad with all of the autistic apps loaded into it. And I actually saw Boomy learn how to speak with it in his hand. And I tell you, you want your heart to melt. Boomy doesn't talk very often, but with a little coaxing on the phone, he'll go, "Uncle, Uncle." And then Rob will coax him and he'll go, "Something." And then he'll coax him again. He'll go, "Something cool." And then he'll make him say it all again. He'll go, "Uncle, something cool." And let me tell you, when a kid that doesn't speak but about 5 or 6 words a year says your name, man, it'll put a hole in your heart.
That's cool shit, man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. 1 in 10 kids in America are affected with autism. That's one of the reasons we got behind it so much. But thought I was going to tell you something real quick. Did you see this video? It went around a little bit. It's actually on my Instagram favorites. It's a girl with cerebral palsy, and she's got self-harm. So she's punching herself, slapping herself. She's in a rocking chair. She's retching back and forth, slamming her head. And they actually grab her and put a mask on her, and it's cooked to a vaporizer. And she takes a couple of breaths, and the next thing you know, she starts doing her head like this, and she's doing her hands like this, and she stops freaking out. She stops hitting herself. She stops contorting. Her hands stop that horrible shit that terrible cause. It is one of the most fucking powerful. Yeah, Ryan Miller saw it. One of the most powerful videos I've ever seen in my life because it's unedited. So there's no time lapse. You can actually see that in 5 minutes, she goes from hitting herself in the fucking head and slapping herself to laughing and looking around at the room and shit, which is, that's what cannabis can do for you. But I don't know, that blew my mind. I don't know if you guys caught it. But
I didn't see that particular one, but I will seek that one out. But there was another one of about a 10 or 11-year-old boy that actually struck himself to where he was bleeding out his ears, had just pummeled his face and his mouth and lips. And they squirted cannabis oil in his mouth. And within about 20 minutes, he was sitting on the couch playing with Matchbox cards. And oh no, it just I'm sorry, I'm gonna tear up now because that shit just
I understand. Too much.
Wow.
Daniel Walsh, thank you very much. Shout out. So real quick, I'm gonna go across the panel real quick again. So Tricky, how you doing tonight? You had a shitty day yesterday. We ain't gonna get into that, but is your day better?
My day is much better today. It started off a little rough again because I had to go back to the doomed fucking palace. I got out of there, thankfully.
That's fucking awesome. So Mendo Dope, let's get down to. I'm so glad to have you on the show tonight, especially this impromptu show with 432 people watching and no announcement. So let's talk about. Well, first off, you guys make sure you order How to Grow Mendo Dope, the Mendo Dope music. Yeah, check it out. Check out their videos on YouTube. So what are we doing right now in the garden? So you guys took care of your soil basically last year, but you got cover crops you're taking care of. Can you kind of break down what's going on with those big giant pots that are in your yard?
So right now we leave them out all year long. They go through the winter. We don't cover them with anything. We let them get all rinsed out. We just 4 days ago put a layer of crimson clover, another kind of special
white Dutch clover,
and
some purple vetch.
Yep. So all that's just popping up right now. Actually, every day the soil's kind of raising up, and it's going to start to do its magic in there. So Minnesota Nice wanted us to get that cover crop on there so it can start helping the soil, get it all ready to go. So we put a compost layer right above that, and then we're going to cover crop the top of the compost layer also. Do a little lasagna.
It's going to be like a sandwich, a lasagna of goodness going on that's going to start rebuilding the soil and just throwing massive life back into it.
So something we've never done before.
Yeah, it's definitely brand new to us. That all the times that we've grown, we've done our regular amending and then replanted. But this time with cover cropping, this extra layer of compost, it's going to be awesome to see how much further we can take it with the science of dank.
Fuck yeah, buddy. So we're also, can you remember what we have for cover?
Buckwheat.
Buckwheat. So Rice is going to give you some buckwheat. And there was one other one. I can't remember what the other one was. And Bill the Soul was going to send me some stuff. I need to get in touch with him. But anyway, so he's got it. We're going to have our cover crop down by hopefully Saturday.
Nice.
We're going to do, we did 3/4 fill. and then we're using neem cake, and then we're going to finish top, and then at that point we're going to put the cover crop down. So yeah, I mean, this is all new to me too. I mean, I've always done like you guys, just amended. Now I will tell you something I came up with last night sleeping, and I'm sure you guys have thought of this, but I guess, you know, the smart pots eventually will fall apart. So next year we're going to put boxes around the ones we have, because I'm not going to do away with those 400s, you know?
No, I mean, the pots, I think they should last for about 5-6 years.
I mean, we've had a few smart pots, yeah, for at least 5 years, and they're still holding strong.
Smart pots are one of the strongest.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how much stronger smart pots are than some of the other pots.
Yeah, we've used some other ones, and they fell apart within probably a couple of the second year. It was getting pretty rough, but the smart pots, they hold strong.
Cool. Hey, was there a difference between the blacks and the tans, or he just gave us?
He said he told us the info that they did all the testing on it, and the tans are slightly cooler, but they will they don't last quite as long.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so the black ones, he said the black ones are fine. They just are like 15 degrees hotter on the hottest temperature that they could ever tested them at.
Cool.
You could wrap them in a white cloth, a reflective cloth of some sort like that. That's what the best thing to do with those outdoor. Get the black ones though, and then just put something white on them to keep the heat off. Real easy to do. Use some kind of wicking material even. Just there's so many other things you can do. But yeah, I'm with you on that. I told you last night, I think it was you was talking about how long those things would last, and I said guarantee that soil will outlast that pot that you're putting on your property there. So you build a good soil, man, it'll last a long time.
That's for sure, yeah.
I did not know that, and that's fucking awesome. Pixel Monkey just dropped 1,000.
Wow, do you see 100? Do you see that?
I mean, $100 into the channel. Everybody's donating. I can't wait to call Jinx Proof and let him know this is fucking awesome. And literally,
this is fucking awesome.
This is fucking awesome. Really awesome.
I think we're at like $400 tonight already. Maybe.
Wow.
You guys are amazing.
They're crushing it. But here's the deal. So I've done a lot of stupid shit and made a lot of bad plays. But I was literally laying in bed because I could remember what Dago's channel looked like when they were doing it to help out people in there. And I saw that and I said, if I can monetize this shit, because I've never done that before because I didn't want them to have my name or information. So if I go ahead and take that chance to monetize it, I can fucking raise money for autistic kids. And to see it sit here with a 20, a 5, a 100, a 20, and there's a damn another one over there. You guys are fucking awesome. Weed Nerds rock. Stream Nerds rock. Thank you very much, Zach. This
You'll
is
be
something
blessed,
like
my brother. You will totally be blessed for this. Trust me. You will be
And see,
blessed.
I knew something else too. I knew that the first week would be the big week. Because let's face it, I mean, Pixel's rocking it. He's a nice sweetheart. What an amazing donation. $100 to Jinx, that's straight up. So next week it won't be the same, and that's fine. Because it'll be a different cause. And that's why the idea was so cool. Because I think we probably, even now, the way y'all guys are doing this, we'll get way over 1,000. So thank you guys so much. Sid, I think we better get on that questions before the screen blows up.
All right. Are there any East Coast strains you would like to see more of or breed with? Says Chachi.
Not, I don't look at strains as regional. I've talked about this before. So I have 12 clone moms, 4 clone dads. North Star Genetics has 63 mothers and 7 fathers. Not all are ours, but they breed with them. And then I have breeders all over America. I mean, I've got Galactic Gardens right there. They just harvested AK-47 times Locomotion. Tony, what else did you guys just pull down there that we're running through the test machine?
That's a Black Lime Reserve times Locomotion, some Gorilla Glue 4 times Locomotion, and MK Ultra times Locomotion.
That's what I'm talking about. So he's bringing back some of those old stuff. Right?
I'm getting ready to do a Vortex run here. Getting ready to load in.
What's up with the
run next?
Whoa! What's up with the Gorilla Glue loco?
Black Lime Reserve, Island Sweet Skunk, AK-47, Gorilla Glue number 4. MK probably going with all the Vortex run.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
might
Tony.
throw that Swiss bitch in there too.
Savage.
Mendo had a question about the glue time loco.
Yeah, what's up with that?
That's a Gorilla Glue 4 cut. Bo's got that.
We need it.
Come via real McCoy, as far as I know. Real dank cut of Gorilla Glue 4. It's really nice.
That's probably crazy. We were talking about that cross already, just because we like the Grease Monkey so much and the Loco so much already. That's probably special.
Yeah, I got the bag in my bedroom. I gotta shuck them.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Tony, Crazy Monkey is not taken for a strain name, so you might want to grab that motherfucker and list it on Leafly.
Crazy Monkey.
Strain names are hard to find.
What about Baby Dragger?
You just have to type it in and look, but Crazy Monkey's not taken.
Can I use Baby Dragger?
Baby Dragger.
Baby Dragger? That doesn't make any damn sense. Okay. Baby Dragon cannabis. Purple Dragon is as close as you get, so you're good to go.
Baby Dragger.
Baby Dragger. Baby Dragger.
Baby Dragger. You know, like the crazy gorilla did with the kid at the zoo?
Okay, now I got you. Okay, that's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, it's a Harambe Kush or something. I think it's taken already. So I'll do like Baby Dragger.
Yeah, it's taken. We found some bag seed and called it Harambe.
That's too fucking funny.
Crazy gorilla.
And then he got
killed. I think we're calling it Sticky Trap.
Fucking awesome. I'm telling you, dude, we're gonna have to clone this fucker because you guys are fixing to dump that on me. Pat's got whatever he said, 150,000 goddamn beans ready for us. It's fixing to be on.
I'm getting ready to send you the 3 clone shippers I got over here. Send them back to you.
Oh yeah. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I like it. I like it. No, that's so back to the question of East Coast. So we fucking just went off on a goddamn train wreck. But yeah, I don't look at it as regional anymore. I mean, I can get anything I want to grow anywhere in the world, and so can pretty much any of these guys. And I'm actually talking to somebody from the East Coast right now. So the only strain that I would really run again, and I can have it, but I don't really smoke bud anymore, and I'm a different person than when it was my favorite strain. I have a lot more anxiety than I had when I was 30 years old, but I really like the Genius cut. It's like the Apollo cut. It's fucking wicked fucking potent. Tastes like baby shit and rotten Gerber peaches, even worse than Apollo. It doesn't have the black pepper smell of Apollo. And I mean, you can trip. You can smoke enough of it that you can see through your hand and shit. It really is that powerful. But nowadays, if I smoke something that sativa heavy, I would be bouncing off the wall. I mean, he knows me pretty much. My heart would be pounding shit, so that shit would lose me. But yeah, that's the only one would be the Genius. So let me try to get through some of these questions real quick. Go ahead, Sid. Speed fire.
All right, so Betty Crocker wants to know, have you tried putting a fan at pot height to run the air across the top of the soil to control your gnats? Use one of those small portable high-velocity fans to prune anything low between the soil and the bottom of the canopy, and have air moving around the pots constantly. The gnats don't want to sit there where it's windy. They lay their eggs in the dirt and usually stay there because there's also food, low light, and not much air circulation. Light lollipopping and a bit of air moving across the dirt and sticky traps above your lights. They will be looking for a place to go, and the calm, warm, still air above your lights will be inviting for any adults flying around. Also, drainage is key for the soil mix. If you want to I would try to remix your Burgess soil sub. Add some coarse perlite and maybe some hydroton or the expanded clay pebbles. It really gives the roots something to hold on to.
Man, that's really, really good advice. To be honest with you, usually people give me advice, but that's really good advice. You know, I think it probably wouldn't hurt for us to pour those 3 cans of Berger out because it's so dense. And maybe throw some perlite, some vermiculite, some hydroton. We'll come up with something like that. So I think that is a good idea. As far as the fan idea, we have fans blowing. We could probably use a couple of more blowers. Would you remind me to order?
The fans are just going to go through the small holes in the bottom.
Yeah, I'm having a problem. Actually, I'm gonna put Malik on the case. That motherfucker's a surfing machine. So I need one of those Stanley floor blowers. The only thing I could find the other day was those fucking, like the ones that clean up carpet after you have a flood, but because it's wintertime. You can't really buy fans right now. So, well, it's coming spring. Anyway, those Stanley floor fans, I have 3 of them, and I could use some more, but we move the air around pretty good. What me and him have noticed is the fuckers will actually live in the holes of the pots too. You see them coming in and out of the fucking holes on the bottom. It pisses me. They drive me fucking crazy. They really do. But I like the idea of putting the sticky traps up high and blowing the air. We can focus the air even more so, and try to find it. Let's see what he's pulling up here.
I got enough.
That's it right there. God damn, 89 fucking. Oh, no. This one right here is the one. It's the Stanley. How much is that fucker? That's it right there, dude. $60, you fucking dickweeds. Stanley floor blower fans. Okay, I got it now. Thanks, dude. So you can get those fuckers $20 sometimes off season, but not right now. Anyway, we have 3, and I'll get 2 more. I really like the idea of moving even more air across them, because I've always thought that. I mean, if you're blowing the fuckers' wings off, then they can't be crawling around in the soil. We'll hang some sticky traps up top. So we'll give that a try. I mean, that's as practical as anything. I also wanted to talk real quick, a great time just to address the panel. That person that said if you put sand in the soil, now not sand on top of the soil, but sand in the soil, mix in some sand in the soil. And he just seemed to think that absolutely that was going to help control the gnat problem. And I was wondering if anybody had any experience with maybe adding a dash of sand to the soil to maybe, it doesn't sound like it would do anything, but has anybody heard this?
I have not.
In potting class, we had, they always recommended putting some sand in your potting mix.
Really?
Okay. It was part of your standard potting mix was a cup of sand. I don't know, help with drainage and whatnot, but sand also helps the soil compact too. So you're going to lose air capacity if you add sand. So it's a matter of how much and whatnot,
Yeah, that makes good sense, Tony, because if you mix too much, you'll have cement in there and shit. So, no, we're just going to – I like the idea. And I will tell you the other thing, and me and Badger are working on it. I think it's a problem for a little bit both of it. It's not when he's not around to do it. We tend to overwater a little bit because we're busy. I've talked about it a couple of times. It seems like the soil stays a little wet. Is it because it's winter or –
I'm not sure exactly, but
I think some of it's the Berger. I know you're not overwatering. I think some of it's the Berger. The Berger tends to wick a lot. So instead of drying out on the top, like regular soil does, it tends to wick the water up to the top. So the top of the pot's kind of always wet. Even when you pick it up and it's kind of fairly light, like you might think it needs to be watered. It's kind of wet on the top. And again, I'm not trying to bash Troy. He's a nice guy and everything, but I don't like this soil, so we're going to have to – I like the idea of adding perlite to it.
That peat needs a wetting agent. There's no wetting agent with that Berger in that bag? No yucca extract or nothing in there?
No. So
maybe a little wet Betty with your water might help that go down on that peat a little bit better. Wetting agent, a saturator, Dutch Match saturator, or some kind of wetting agent.
Okay. Back in the day, we'd just drop a drop of
dish soap.
What was it? Dish soap. We used a certain kind. I can't remember what it was because it didn't have one of those chemies in it. I don't know. Fucking when you dish soap, anything to just make your water go through.
Bacterial soap. But
when you use the Met 52 liquid, it's really weird the way you use it. You have to mix it with water. And then you put if I say this right, a suffocant, which is it basically
is the surface tension of water to make oil mixed with water.
Thank you very much, Tony the Brain. So anyway, then you shake the fuck out of it. I mean, you shake and shake and shake and shake and shake the small amount, and you get your sprayer ready, and you, or if you're going to drench, which we drench.
Yeah, we drench.
You drench. So basically what you want to do is you get your bucket ready, and your bucket's got a couple of gallons of water in it, and you shake the shit out of this stuff with a jar, the suffocant, the Met 52 liquid, and then you pour it in the bucket, and then you have a amount of time to treat your plants with it. What happens is it spins around in the bucket. It's slowly trying to come back together. And if you just let it sit there for, I don't know, about 5 minutes, there'd just be a blob of this shit on top of the water. So the Met 52 is just a dash little to use with. It sounds like that some yucca extract might not hurt We've got a whole bunch of stuff here. We've got that aloe water, or is it aminos?
The aminos.
So we have soy aminos that we bought like 60 pounds of. So we're going to be playing with some of that stuff, but everybody says yuck or aloe vera. So I can get some. I have aloe vera powder. We used it all.
We used it all.
We used the whole bag. So anyway, I'll order some stuff from Build the Soil tomorrow. And I'll jump on it. Mendo, what's up? All right, Sid.
Sam D here. Do you put your pants on one leg at a time, or do you just wake up this awesome? If it's the latter, what is it like having the world bask in your glory, sub?
I think this is a hater being an ass. Oh no, man! If you really mean that, the boys have met me. Badger hangs out with me. I'm just a normal motherfucker that says his mind. I'll tell you. Okay, quick story to answer that question. Okay, stories always answer questions best. So I was at the lawyer today, and I was talking to him. And there was two girls in the room that don't know me. They haven't met me yet. They know who I am. One was a fan, actually. They don't know who I am. They never met my personality. So my lawyer, he knows me very well. So when he's in there, they were talking about this, that. They're guiding me this way and that way, and the laws and everything. And we're talking about this and that. And so I say things in front of lawyers that you're not supposed to say because I don't really give a shit because I'm paying them. So anyway, the one girl was trying to say something like that, and she says, well, let me tell you something about Sub. When Sub came in our office the first time, we gave him advice on things that he should not do as an activist in the cannabis world. And he told us that he was Sub cool, and he was going to do and say what the fuck he wanted to. So you might as well get used to the way he acts. It was just, you should have been there to see the moment. It was just so goddamn funny, man. But no, I've always been like that. It's a wonder they haven't come and got me because I damn screaming hard a lot. But I like to think because I'm a good person and I don't fuck people over and I pay my taxes. That 3-hour meeting today at the lawyer was based. Do you understand this is all about paying taxes? It's all about going from what we were in the old days to what we are going to be in the new days, which is legal above ground cannabis networks. But now we're going to have inspectors and all kind of shit like that. And we're just going to have to get used to it. So what about Mendocino, Mendo? Is the regulations as tough up there? It seems like they got better regulations there if you're from there.
I mean, it depends right now. Everything seems to be in limbo.
There too. Okay. I thought you guys had talked about permits earlier, Sid.
Yeah, when I talked to you last, it was that they weren't going to redo the permit things, but I guess Amanda Boy said that they are.
Yeah, well, the small farmers group that we follow on Facebook that deals with a lot of the local stuff, they just shared a link that said the sheriff just put it up and said they're doing $25 for zip ties and voluntary to sign up to it.
I thought they weren't allowed to, though, because of some legality issue with that association.
That's what I don't understand. That was they posted it like 9 hours ago before we got on here, so it was earlier this afternoon they put it up.
Yeah, definitely want to do a follow-up on that because that's, yeah, you know.
Doesn't sound right. And then there's different people commenting. I was reading the comments, and they're just saying, you know, it's all bullshit. This is all voluntary shit just to get you on the list anyway. It's like it's always been, and it's not a needed thing. It's supposedly to save you, but then if they do come, you know, you're already supposed to be legal, so you don't even need them in the first place.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have been saying since it's been starting the trial run with the 100 or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with the 99s and stuff like that. Like, that just seems like you're snitching on yourself.
So check this out. So,
what's that? The Gorilla Corkle? I see Tricky D with.
Yeah, I just sent it to him.
Ooh-wee.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And we're gonna, like I say, the Jazz Space Dude is coming up. We're gonna dump that really quickly. So we just got to gather just a couple more things. Sid, let's start. I know you talked about questions. Let's get big man.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I heard plastic unwrapping. What was the question again?
Wait, more questions, big man.
Okay, more questions. I got you. Sub, are you going to be continuing to make the Brian Berry?
We are going to continue to make the Brian Berry. Miss Jill makes the Brian Berry, and We have plenty of them. But believe it or not, it doesn't sell as well as you think. And both the strawberry strains do very well in production of seeds. It's just that simple. The cough is a big old lanky weirdo strain, and it makes a whole shitload. So sorry about that. Go ahead, Sid.
So this one's for the Mendo boys. When you guys make your teas like Mycos and popcorn, do you guys pH the tea? Shout out to the Grows of Dank. Did you guys get that?
That's for you, Mendo boys. You
Sorry,
guys,
we are muted.
No, we test our water in the beginning of the year and then maybe like once a month, and we're all on the well. So everything we do from the well, we already know is good enough. It's just barely high, maybe like 6.5-ish or something. And the tea, we have no problem with. We just rock it straight from the well water.
I love it. And I'm happy to use my well water this year because it's full. So it's full of rain. So it's
yeah. Ours looks like it's almost overflowing. It's the highest I've ever seen it. It's like 1 inch from the top.
Really?
It's scary almost. Like you think the house is gonna sink in a fucking sinkhole or something.
Like a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's really nice right now. We're gonna start filling up our reservoir and get it ready to go. It's supposed to rain too for another week or something coming up.
That's for sure.
So
All right, so
go ahead. We got to take a break. We haven't taken a break in 2 hours. So
yeah, we actually got to get going too to do some work outside. So we just wanted to shout out to the whole panel right now. Everyone watching out there. Our street team homies, King Beezy, out in Fresno, tuning in all the time.
Mr. Bond over there for show.
Mr. Bond, Minnesota Nice. Everyone out there. Much love from Mendo Dope.
We got our personal jars trimmed.
Nice.
We'll be showing you some when we come see you. Maybe we're gonna go actually your way tomorrow, so we'll maybe give you a call.
Yeah, come see me. I'm going to the Lawyer midday to drop off some funds, and then I'll be doing shit. So just holler. Maybe we'll eat a lunch or something like that. Just let me know.
For easy.
That sounds good. Much love, everyone.
Yes. Be safe, bro.
For sure.
Have a dank night.
Be cool.
All right,
Be
nerds.
nerds.
We're gonna take a break. I'm gonna put something in the background. You don't have to watch it if you want to. I gotta do a couple things. We'll be right back, and we'll get to more questions. Check in with our panelists. So this is this shit makes me die laughing. It really does. Let me start this over.
Dominant.
So this is Vader Vision.
Oh, my
teaching
bad.
us how to breed. I'll be back. You guys seen this?
No, the allele. What do you mean the alleles? What am I supposed to be spelling right? Fine, I'm just gonna spell these all the way out. I'm just talking about the alleles. I don't care. Just gotta fucking write this all the way out. Dominant. All right, alleles. Yeah, that bad boy. All right, fine. There you go. Lots of L's. No, that's all the way down. Okay. Very recessive. R-E-S-S. That's not how you spell recessive either. What are you talking about? There's a C in it. What kind of education is this? Well, apparently you have a terrible education. Well, fine. We'll just do it my way. R-E-C-Z-B-O-Z. How about that? No, that's not how you do it either. Well, it is where I come from. There's a Z, Ziv, I don't know, little thing of water. How about that? They do it in foreign countries. It's kind of racist. I don't know if it's racist. It might be culturalist. All right, moving on to phenotype. What the fuck are we doing next? All right. Oh, I never get this part right. All right, well, just listen up for a second. We've got big S's, we got little S's. That is very true. How does this work? All right, well, here we have our dominant and our recessive alleles. One is going to be sticky. Okay. Yeah, those are going to be the big ones. All right, fine. I'll write that down. And sticky. We're going to also say that the small ones are not sticky. Not sticky. Not a problem. You spell that right? Yeah, you spelled it right. That's how I roll. Okay. Well, last but not least, there is a third possibility of a big S, little s. I'm guessing this is going to be sticky. Yes, this is also going to be sticky. Okay, so we got 3 possibilities. What do we do next? Well, we're going to draw a pundit square. So remember I had to show you that 4 square? Well, I think so. You can draw it anywhere on the board. How about over here? That's fine. Oh, I know it's fine.
Pay attention to the science now.
Yes, 1 line down, cross, 1 more. Yeah, one more down, and one more across. Very nice. Okay, I think I got this. Now there's going to be a big S. That will be the big S, and a little s, but not there, over on the right. Right here. Jesus. It's not that complicated. It looks complicated.
It looks complicated to me too, doesn't it?
It looks like shit. It's not a big deal. It looks like crap. I'm gonna erase this. Just 1 second. Oh, great. There we go. Very nice and clean. Fantastic. Now continue with the big S, right? And a simple little s. That's pretty much it. And now we're just gonna add them together. So, okay, 2 big S's. Got a big S, yep, and a little s. So little s, big S. Yep, nope, big S first. A little, big is dominant, little is recessive. I got you. Yep, so you'll do the same thing over there. It doesn't matter what the square is. Very nice. And that will be 2 little s's. So congratulations. Yes, that is your not sticky. Okay. So we got 75% sticky because of the dominant big S. At least out of those numbers. Go ahead and write that down. 75% thingy bummer. That looks kind of shitty. Well, not a big deal. And 25% non-sticky. Okay, I think you got this right. So this one is going to be non-sticky over here. That is correct. And this will be sticky. Okay. It's not too bad. So this is not stabilized. Okay, I don't think I'm really quite wrapping my head around this. You're going to have to explain this a little more. So if I really
All right, if you guys want to watch that, it's Vader Vision: How Basic Genetics Concepts Relate to Cannabis Breeding, and what he just described is actually literally how I breed. Literally, even the sticky fucking part. That's literally how I do it. He goes on to talk about stabilization and stuff like that. I don't believe in stabilization. I'm looking for that mega sticky. It takes so long to stabilize a strain, and I'll tell you what, if you guys tell me one, I'll be impressed. I wish you had Indy and Mouse on here, because Super Skunk, Skunk number 1, is supposed to be the most stabilized strain there is, and it's not stable from seed. I'm sorry, it's not. And neither is that AK. AK is so fucking watered down and stable now, but if you grow 10-pack, you get all kind of phenotypes. So it's just weird to me that you see so much difference in there. So what do you guys think about that?
You know, honestly, Sub, all the information about stabilizing genetics, watering them down, is kind of new to me from listening to you lately. I didn't really know that was a thing.
Well, you know what? It's not if you understand Punnett squares and you understand breeding, but if you're just out there just crossing something out and then back crossing it over and over again, no, there's certainly not. And there's definitely not enough education out there when it comes to breeding. And I've tried my heart out for 20 years to teach people, and I've actually had people say, "Manny, you're kind of teaching people to be your competitors and shit," but I don't care about that stuff. I just want people to do things right and make good strains that are stable and that stay the test of time. I mean, Vortex, I think, will be around for a long, long time. So, anyway, so all right, Sid, I know you got some more questions there, big guy.
Sorry, I had to find my unmute button. Have you heard of a chart that actually explains like how compatible certain strains are with others? Like the more indica they lean, the less compatible they are with like sativas and stuff like that. I remember reading a chart like that in Rosenthal's botany book or something like that.
Yeah, it's in advanced botany. I can't speak on it without having that open right there, but we're learning more and more and more as we map it. I talked about this the other day, and I mean, I guess the easiest way I can explain it is, so if you look at a DNA mapping of a strain, some of them look like giant galaxies, and some of them look like 6 points. You know, so a strain can have 1,000 connections, or a strain can have just a few connections, whether it's sativa or whether it's indica. And if you breathe with these strains that have more and more and more possibilities, that big S and that little s gets more complicated, because it's not just about sticky and not sticky. That was a very simplified explanation. It's a lot more complicated than that. So,
all right. So someone would like to know, they've been loving the shows. What would be a good way to maximize yields growing outdoors on the East Coast with a short growing season? And if I may throw something in, I'd be extending their light period if they are able to.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's always a tough question. Number one, I get Mendo dopes, how to grow Mendo dope and learn their methods and everything. But, you know, basically you're going to have to cover on the East Coast, I would imagine, where you're at. But I can answer your question. Cuvée finishes so goddamn fast. We were done with Cuvée last year. When we ran 6 Cuvées, we were done with it the 10th day of September. So that's what, 3 weeks early, Sid? 3.5 weeks early, right?
Yeah, that's pretty fucking close to like Afghanis and shit too. That's really fast.
The fucking thing was just brutal, man. I'll never forget when it started budding. Jill actually said it was budding, and we looked at it and we said, no, it's not budding yet. It's only whatever day it was that it started budding outside. It was fucking summertime. And then 3 days later, I said, you know what? You're right. The fucking thing is budding. It started budding so early. It was still summer, still late. It was light till 8:30 and shit like that. And this thing was just rocking it. So, yeah, she finished up for us. And I've talked about this multiple times, and we can talk about this now, especially. So we talk about harvest and the end of the season is California. We're talking about the prices falling faster and faster and faster. The very end harvest are usually down in the $1,000 range. Up in Washington, it's worse. But if you can get in the dispensaries in middle of September with fucking killer bud, there's nobody else in there. You can kind of ask for what you want. So I always recommend Cuvée for going outdoors. It is the fastest strain I've ever seen. But on the East Coast, it's brutal out there, man. It starts getting cold in September, and by October, it's usually snowing. So I would say a house is in order. Tony, do you guys have, you do greenhouses in Michigan? People grow in greenhouses there, correct?
Oh yeah, there's lots of greenhouses around here for sure.
Okay, cool. They do light dep and stuff like that?
I don't know about all that, but
okay.
It's getting bigger.
But you gotta have a lot, you gotta have heat. You gotta have heat. You gotta have a shitload of heat to grow there in the
Yeah. Outside it's right now it's like 15 degrees. It's cold as shit out right now.
Fuck that shit, dude.
80 here today.
Yeah, it was 84 here today, so
I had long johns on underneath my sweatpants today.
I would fucking die, man. 15, there's no fucking way, dude. I remember though, like these guys know I lived in Racine and in Kenosha. I mean, that's fucking cold, buddy. You guys are nuts. Tony's got like a fucking Evel Knievel motherfucking snowmobile though, baby. He's got the shit. What kind of, how many horsepower is that thing?
Oh no, that one's not that big. It's a 600. Yeah, I'm on a 600. But it's fast as shit though. I did a wheelie by accident. I freaked out. Oh shit, hanging out the fuck. You try to hang out, you're squeezing the throttle harder, you know, makes you go faster. Fuck.
Yeah, I know that game.
Trying to let go, you know, just let go, like water skiing, you know, just let go. You can't.
Yeah, my dad, he passed away, but my dad used to have this trick where he'd put his foot in the rope. He could slalom ski, water ski. And he'd put his foot in the rope and pull himself with his foot. And he did it a lot. As he got older and older and older, you know, my dad was always in good shape and shit. One day he fell and he couldn't get his foot out of the rope, and it fucked his ass up. It tore 2 groin muscles, tore his fucking knee out of joint and shit. Because he's skipping through the fucking water as his foot was hooked to the rope. So, yeah, he didn't do that no more. All right, Sid. I know you probably got a list of questions. I'm sorry. I'll try to get through them.
You're good, man. If you had to choose between a male that has a nice terpy stem rub, but a lanky, unbranchy totem pole structure versus a male with a not so great scent on the stem rub, but frost on the leaves during veg and a great branching structure, what would it be?
Man, that's a really, really hard question. Well, number one, you guys know I would have picked the one that showed sex first, but in that case, I probably would go with resin production because I am a resin breeder. So if you're going to ask me, I'm going to go for the resin. We got another breeder in the house. Tony, what would you go with, smell or resin on that?
Yeah, you know, you can always try to pinch stuff to try to tame it, you know, or bend it over and bondage and shit. And the resin is definitely where it's at. But in this case, I would toss both and look for another one.
Yeah, no, I didn't think that too. Sometimes.
Look for one that's the structure you like and is also sticky. If it's in there, you got to look.
There you go. You heard it from Tony.
So I was looking through your strain guide and noticed you use Romulan in many of your crosses. Cuvée, Ace of Spades, Brineberry Cough, just to name a few. I like Romulan, but I rarely see it in the dispensaries. I'm curious why you use it so often, and does it have a specific trait that you like to bring into your crosses? That was a really good question.
That's a great question. Okay, so I have the Romulan in the house now. I just got it back from Duke Diamond, so Brothers Groom. Thanks, guys. I'm sorry. And I will use it to make the Flav. The other crosses that you guys talked about, it just happens to have Romulan. I see Tony moving his hand, waving his hand for the Joe Pine Romulan. I see that. Oh, that's what the clone shippers are for. But those other strains that you mentioned just happen to have fucking Romulan in them. We didn't breed that into them. So the answer to your question is Romulan was a serious breeding strain. Joe Pines is the most famous clone. Now, Federation Seeds still sells Romulan seeds, but it's not the same thing. And I can't even say you will or will not get a pack of that phenotype. But that special phenotype, a lot of guys used to run it in the late 90s because of weight. It'll pull 2.5. It's got that funky incense Durban smell. It smells like a head shop. Yeah. By the way, don't you love the way a fucking head shop smells? You can't recreate that in your house. You just can't. It's like it's the fact that there's 75 kinds of incense and all that other weird shit in there. It just has this smell. So there's a couple of strains that smell like it, and Romulan is one of them. The other reason that people use Romulan is because when you breed with it, it adds weight. We created, no shit, the Flav. Me and Jill were sitting around one day getting high, and we were smoking the strain that we had harvested. It was Romulan times Space Queen. And we were watching MTV, and the fucking Flava Flav roast came on with him and Bridget Nielsen. And the first time they said, the Flav, I was like, that's what we're going to call the fucking strain. And so, bam, we got that. But anyway, breeders love to breed with Romulan because of that. And we're very happy to have it back. So go ahead, Sid.
What's the best indica y'all have ever smoked? I'm pretty sure we can ask the whole panel this one.
Yeah, I want everybody else to answer. Fada?
Mine personally is just an Afghani that my friend said he got seeds from, like went to Afghanistan to get the seeds back in the 90s and been breeding since he came back. That's my favorite.
Mine is probably, believe it or not, one I don't have right now, but one that Heroes is working with. But mine is probably that old hash plant. I grew it for many, many years, and the cuttlefish hash plant was my favorite. Bad Boy had it up in Canada, and I just lost the ability to work with those guys because of the borders and shit like that. So anyway, that's probably my favorite ever. Don, well, you got a favorite indica?
You know, I do have to say I am more of a sativa guy for sure because just my ADD and shit, and I like the productivity of it. But as far as indica goes, Cindy's an indica, right? Yeah, she is. She's indica Dom, huh? Cindy 99.
I've got a kind of a. I'm sorry, Doug. I got an emergency question real quick. So Cindy 99, by the way, I want to get you something. What did I send you the Jack and Cindy?
Nuh-uh. No, I didn't. I didn't ask you for that one. I didn't send my address info because you just sent me something else. But if you want to, I'm always going to run it. You know that. Of course I do,
brother. If you're a Cindy lover, I'm gonna hook you up.
Fuck, I love her, dude. Fire. That's
yeah, you got Cindy in your hand.
Literally in my hand.
Look at her go. All right, Axis of Real Talk wants to know, sub, please help. I'm sick and I cannot smoke at the moment. Can you please tell us your really quick edible recipe that you mentioned a few shows ago? I certainly can. There's a couple of ways you can do it. You either need some type of extract, whether it be hash, shatter, bubble, keef, etc. You need to get a microwave safe bowl, and you need to put some crunchy peanut butter in there and or regular peanut butter. I just have a theory that the peanuts kind of break it up better. And then you toss a 1/4 gram or 1/2 gram in that bad boy after you warm it up and get it kind of soft. Don't cook the shit out of it. Just warm it up and then mix it in there and warm it up again a little bit. It's really cool if you can put your microwave on a 30% setting so you can heat it slowly instead of just frying the shit out of it. And then mix it, and stick it in the refrigerator for a few minutes and let it become peanut butter again instead of liquid. and eat it, and it works really good. I did a whole gram of shatter. I don't know. Somebody gave me this brown looking shatter. It didn't look worth smoking, but I'm not gonna throw it away. So I was fucked up. Let me tell you. About an hour and a half later, that shit kicked in, and I know that this quick 3-minute does not decarbolize it, but it does work. So the answer to your question is peanut butter, microwave, spoon, stir, consume. Go ahead, Big Sid.
Those are called firecrackers, right?
Firecrackers, that's what I call them.
Yeah.
Have you ever done one? Have you ever had one done?
I actually had it back in college. I did it with Hershey's though, because it's chocolate. I use dark chocolate.
Because I saw that on the weekend, bro, I did it.
Yeah. See, these guys do. I'm not going to say it's decarbonized. I'm not going to say it's the most effective. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying if you need to consume some cannabis real quick and you don't have time to make a batch of cookies, bam. A couple times when I've not had edibles, yeah, right?
I do remember you saying though, Sub, that when you decarbed it, you would use about 3 grams of hash for a normal jar of peanut butter, and then when you decarbed it, you only used 1 gram of hash, and it fucked you up way better. Am I correct?
Oh, yeah. No, it does. It absolutely does. So there's something going on there with the whole decarbon thing. But again, it works. It works for me. And people give me a lot, and I'm not dogging anybody, but people give me a lot of stuff that's just not up to par. And I don't say it to their face. We usually collect everything, pass around. Like, I had like 5 grams of this rosin stuff that somebody gave me through cups, and it was just, I'm sorry, it was dark and it stank. It didn't look like something you would really want to enjoy, So I put it in peanut butter and ate it. It was fine. It worked just great like that. You got another question there, City?
Sure do. Hope you're ready for it. Someone wants to know what today's new super soil recipe is.
Okay, today's super soil recipe, which we haven't made yet, is going to be the exact same recipe that's on the back of the menu, but we're going to use Soil King soil. I haven't talked to Patrick yet. We're going to talk to him Saturday night. But from what I understand, his soil is marginally less strong than my soil, but it has some of the same amendments in it. So I don't want to compare his soil to Roots, okay? But there's soil that has no food in it. There's soil that has some food in it, like cheap soil you buy from Walmart, Home Depot, shit like that. Then there's soil that's specifically geared to grow cannabis, like Fox Farm, Roots, etc. And it looks like that's what Soil King makes is a balanced formula that's about as strong as Roots. So that we'll use 9 bags of Soil King with the recipe, super soil recipe. The only thing else we've added right now is we've been adding the dry Met 52, 1.1 pounds of Met 52, half a kilo for 4 cans. It comes on like rice, right?
Yes.
Comes on rice. This is green shit on rice. You basically inoculate your soil with it, and it supposedly this bio whatever lives in your soil, and it eats the exoskeletons of the gnats. We both believe it's working, helping.
I'm doing another treatment this week.
He's doing another treatment this week, but I can tell you this: there's fucking gnats in my bedroom. I can tell you that shit because I was in there a few minutes ago and they're crawling around. I hate them. Mike said, "What you got, buddy?"
All right, I think that person here. I'll just read it. Part 2 of my question for clarification, if you get a chance. If a plant is in 18 hours of light and it fully flowers out, is it an autoflower, male or female? I have a male I got from a regular pack of seeds. It created huge pollen sacs in 18 hours of light. It's not supposed to be an autoflower pack. I didn't expect any of the Ruderellus in this blueberry strain. Thanks again, guys.
Good. What a good question. It can happen to anything. I mean, I've seen just about any damn thing autoflower, and I don't know if I could call it autoflower or not, but
The males produce balls, right?
Yeah, the males produce balls. But this is what I'll say about this strain. So, by definition, if it flowers in full light, and you can't reverse it, and you're using proper light, then it's probably somehow flipped inside, and it is auto flowering on you. This is what let me see if I can explain the question with telling you something. So the black cherry soda, if you look at it on onset, it looks like an autoflower, doesn't it?
It wants to flower. It doesn't want to clone. We had to grow it for almost a month and a half before it went from single leaf to 3 leaf to 5 leaf. And I don't think it ever did get out of 5 leaf, did it? But what we've learned, and you guys know sometimes book knowledge don't work for me, but this is what we've learned. The plant apparently has been inside forever and ever and ever. If you put enough light on it and you get everything right, it will come out of bloom. Jill seems to have a real knack with it. Hers has got like 7 leaves on it, and she does a really good job with it. But mine, it just seemed like to want to stay in there. If you have a strain that you cannot get to reverse to go back in the veg, then I would obviously say it's a damn autoflower. A lot of people like those autoflowers. We talked about that earlier. I don't think they damn yield enough because the plants don't give before they bud. So, Dung, what you laughing at over there, big man?
Fucking me and Tricky D going back and forth in chat with Barbie, talking shit about the cup, because Barbie asked Tricky if he needed somewhere to stay for the cup, and Tricky's like, no, I'm pretty sure we got a hotel room locked down, because me and Sid and Tricky got a hotel room already. And I said, fuck that, I'm paying for the room, and I'll still stay with you guys. Tricky's gonna steal my bed anyway. He said, you're gonna be my girlfriend for the weekend, Dung.
So check this one out. So I've got to find, I mean, I'm sure my boys will take care of it, but I got to find a room for Hunter S. Thompson to stay in. That fucker stayed in my house one day, and I sleep with one of them stupid noise-making white noise machines. So I pretty much sleep the sleep of the dead, too. So I heard a monster in my motherfucking house. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I wake up, I get up, I hear a fucking, seriously, like a dragon is in my house. I come out into the den with the couch, and he's laying there and he's snoring. Dude, I ain't never seen nobody fucking snore like that. He's probably 280, 290, got a big barrel chest, big old belly. It sounded like he was eating a dog or some shit, man. And so, yeah, I don't, not only do I want him not in my room, I don't want him in the fucking room next to my room while we're sleeping. So you only get like 5 hours sleep a night at the cup, and they're very valuable. So anyway.
Yeah, you hear that, Tricky? That means I'm gonna need my sleep, fool. You can't fuck with me, dude.
Ain't gonna be no sleep, man. There ain't gonna be no sleep.
Oh God, it's on.
Well, and I will tell you this. Now, you guys are young, so when it's just over, my ass goes back to the hotel. Maybe try to find a hot tub, maybe find a massage or some shit like that. A lot of people go out and party and shit, but you got to get up the next morning. You stand around for Tony's been to a cup. Hell, your feet get tired, right? So yeah, I didn't stay out till 1 o'clock. I don't stay out till 1 o'clock every night at the cups. I go home and rest.
Maybe the last day we'll figure something out.
Well, it's my first cup, so you know I'm gonna be raging.
Oh, everybody does, and I mean, if I was your age, absolutely. And they have some pretty fucking serious parties. I mean, I can assure you, San Bernardino is going to be off the hook. I don't know who the special guests are, but they're going to blow it up. I'm sure they're not going to ask Mendo Dope on because they're a bunch of dick fours, but
that's so lame. They should.
It's fucking so lame. But they have good guests. So I'll tell you a little story. So High Times has never been with like the cool people. They're always with the like money people, and that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. But like, just so you know, like the product that wins the best product of the year is never really the coolest product. It's just not. It's kind of a big show. So if you're like an anarchist like me and you don't go with the flow, it's hard to win anything with this kind of guys. Anyway, same thing with Mendo Dope. Mendo Dope don't kiss a lot of ass, so
right,
kind of takes a little bit of that, right?
That's what they're looking for. Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I got a question for you.
Shoot it, man.
All right, so you saw a few minutes ago I was transplanting all my GG4 Quirkles. All 10 of my seeds have popped. I got good little tap roots that started, so I got them in their cups.
Okay.
Not a single one of my JC99s is cracked yet.
Rut-row, Raggy. Well, let's see. We'll find out what's going on. That's why we test shit. So they fire seeds. I looked at them. They're perfectly selected.
Yeah, they're incredible looking seeds.
And they're not fresh because Duke sent me some about 3 months ago, and I fucking lost them at the Emerald Cup. So, well, let's see what happens. It's been what, 3 days?
They've been in for about 60 hours now. Yeah.
All right. I'm not shook up yet. So, I can tell you for some bizarro reason, seeds that I make seem to crack
incredibly fast. I've seen vortex seeds crack in 48 hours. Dung?
Dude, I've seen them crack in 24.
I don't know what we're doing to make that happen, but
The seed has to absorb water.
Well, yeah, I mean, all the GG4 Quirkles have popped and are doing great. So they're in the exact same conditions.
Nice. Well, we'll watch them. We'll watch them. That's the story. So Duke Diamond made that cross for me, and we're throwing it on the nerves to see what it'll do. So let's see if it'll crack.
Yeah, the TGA is really fast. I always recommend not using, not soaking them. People might soak them, they crack open, they drown and shit. They're so fast.
Yeah, I don't want to fight dog and tricky, but I long ago stopped soaking them. I stick them right in a rapid rooter because I'm afraid to damage them and stuff like that. Plus, after you've cracked about 2,000 fucking seeds, they're just seeds. They're going to grow. Like when I first got seeds, when I first bought a pack of seeds for $300 from Amsterdam, you bet your fucking ass, man. I hoarded over every one of them, but we just start seeds all the time. We just toss them in the rapid rooters and they pop. Well, you guys will watch on my Instagram. How many more have come up?
Majority of them.
So
there's probably 10 that have it.
Yeah, we planted what, 36?
30.
30. We planted 30, stuck them straight in rapid rooters. So I'll show you what it does. But anyway, lots of people do the soak and drop. It is what it is.
Have any of you guys ever had them take I had the Helper Quirkle take 4, maybe 5 days. So I have had them take a little longer though too.
I've had seeds crack at 7 days before, so I think it just depends.
Jill was telling me some crazy shit. She loaded 2 seeds into a cube. By mistake, sometimes you drop 2 in there, you forget which one you're doing. And so there was a plant like this tall growing. It had 2 nodes on it. She said 2 weeks and a fucking another plant came up from the thing. It was like that tall and it was growing. I don't know the fuck that happened, but
that's a trip.
Yeah, but anyway, our seeds, most likely, if you buy seeds from TGA Genetics, they're seeds that were recreated within that year. So we don't sit on large stockpiles of seeds very often. We move them out pretty quickly. So we just ran out of Jilly. We'll restock it. The JTR we were out of, we just restocked it. The Quirkle we were out of, we just restocked it. Right now we're making some more Agent, and we're making what the hell are we making?
We're making Jack's Cleaner 2.
JC2.
We're making the new cross with the Pinot.
Pinot times Jack the Ripper.
And more Agent Orange.
Cool. And I have some ideas for the name for that one. So it's French. So I don't, there's some names that are probably weird. The first one I thought it was the Marquis de Sade. I thought that was pretty fucking cool if you get the reference. But yeah, French killer. We'll get it done. Pinot. Wine killer. We'll come up with something. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one. The Pinot is a fucking amazing plant. It's such a gift. Of all the clones in my garden that was given to me, not the ones that I made myself or found, but clones people give me, say a Cherry Bio-G and some of those others. That Pinot it's fucking uber special. It makes retarded fucking hash. Everything you clone with it gets faster, quicker, and makes more fucking resin. Cuvée is amazing, so I'm pretty excited for the Pinot times JTR. So those will be testers. They'll be ready in a month.
A month, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have them for the cup, but maybe.
Probably not.
Nah, we won't have them for the cup. They'll probably be drying at the cup. So that's how this cares. All right, Sid.
I'm muted now. Okay. So we spoke on Instagram before about the Julius Hansel book, Bred from Stones. I was just wondering if you had a chance to look into it or if anyone on the panel has heard of it. I personally have not.
What book?
Bred from Stones by Julius Hansel.
I have not heard of it. What is it about?
I don't know.
Huh.
Apparently, Lunchbox SD says he hit you up on Instagram about it before.
I can't remember, dude. My brain is smush. Too much shit going on.
Has anyone on the panel heard about it?
Yeah, I don't know. Wellness wants to know if AC/DC Pennywise created. It's created, tested, ready to rock, but just Chef Joe's got to make some more of them. Go ahead, Sid.
What kind of bug lays a white shiny egg on a stem?
The aphids do, right?
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be an aphid. Aphids are kind of an untalked about problem, and I think the number way to get aphids is you get them on you or you get them on a pet. So I would try safer soap. Go ahead.
I actually keep hearing that ants use them like to get as like cattle, like for food.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
So if you have an ant problem, that's another thing to look into.
Yeah. And fucking, I still got, you guys laugh. You guys, when you got the gnat problem, me and Badger still live with the fucking piss ants. There's not, you do not go in a room in my house and there's not a fucking piss ant somewhere. And it's not like there's millions of them. They're just one or two
They're
hanging
just in
out.
the office, just a little bit ago.
Yeah, they're in the office. They just hang around. If you put your phone down, there's a piss ant on it. It's just, I don't know what the fuck they are. I think they like reefer or something. I don't know.
Someone asked, is there any way to make some real money now in Georgia doing it, other than trying to grind it out on the street? I heard your Georgia growing story on the last stream, Medusa Gang.
Yeah, no, not a lot's changed in Georgia from what I understand. I got friends back there and shit. I mean, if you want to grow and sling back there, you can. You know, it's you still get high dollar for your weed out there. Weed in Georgia's $400 an ounce. But if you get caught growing weed in Georgia, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. You're going to get charged with cultivation, manufacture, distribution, and sometimes trafficking. And they usually get 3 of those to stick. So you're looking about a minimum down there, 5 years in prison if you get caught growing. So I would not suggest that you grow pot in Georgia unless you're willing to take that risk.
This one's for Tony, actually. Minecraft wants to know, Tony, what the highest CBD strain you have found in Michigan was. Or has anyone found a 15-to-1 or 20-to-1 strains? I guess Malik would be one to ask too.
Uh-oh, is he there? Tony.
I've seen AC/DC around, and but not many others. What about you, Tony?
I guess he's taking a break. There he is. He's there. CBD strains, buddy, out there on the East Coast?
Yeah, we have your stuff out here. I've had a 1-to-1, 8% and 8% Pennywise.
Yeah.
I know Bo's had one 2-to-1.
Okay.
Up there too. So that's about what we got here. I don't play with CBD too much, so it's about all I know.
Dago's working with the CBD, so he's going to do the penny and the Hercule, and I'm going to get him the AC/DC times penny. So he's really researching that out. I can tell you that the dark lights that we haven't released yet is getting in that 13-14%. But what I was going to tell you is just to mirror what Tony said. A lot of people are breeding with my Pennywise, and they're finding phenotypes that are high 20s on CBD. Not all of them, and not across the line. But nowadays, you can do testing. Excuse me. I think you can get a testing kit for around $300. So you can grow a pack of seeds, and you can genotest all 10 seeds, and you can find out which ones are male, which ones are female, and which ones have high CBD right out of the gate. So instead of growing autofem seeds or all this shit, my suggestion would be to spend a little bit of money on technology nowadays so that we can actually figure out what is the best CBD strain, what is recessive, what is dominant, and really move forward in the industry. So I expect young people like Dung and like Malik and like Sid 10 years from now to use the knowledge that they learn on shows like this and learn the knowledge that they read in the books from people like this and Robert Clark, and they will be doing shit that we don't even fucking conceive of right now. They will be able to test seeds and find out, well, they can already do all this stuff, but I guess what I'm saying is the mainstream. You'll just, your seeds, you'll know they're male, you'll know they're female, you're going to know what's CBD, you're going to know what's THC, and you're going to get lab results on everything, and it's not going to be like the days when we spent 15, 20 years finding shit out, which there's nothing wrong with that. You guys know I prefer old vinyl, but I ain't stupid. You talk to Grow Mouse for about 5 minutes, and you'll understand that there's new technology, and you need to pay attention.
Yeah, and I can tell you too, Sub, that even right now, you got people like Malik who are starting at his little DIY tissue culture lab. You know, he's getting into that shit. And then me, I am literally in the process of trying to find the fastest way to grow pot humanly possible. So I'm going to figure that out. And then once I figure out the speed thing, I can kind of start bringing everything in with that, you know, but definitely going to try and take the cutting edge of this shit and run with it. That's for sure. I think all of us are one way or another.
Yeah, I was gonna say, trust me, I'm definitely picking up anything you drop. If I can, in fact, if I can screen share for a second.
Well, and even you guys, Sub, you and Tony. I mean, fucking Tony making dope crosses. You're constantly got your head pondering and working on all kind of shit, dude. So you guys are what lay the path for us to be able to come behind you and do this stuff. I mean, literally, we will, you know, kind of innovate and do what we got to do, but it ain't possible without you guys. That's for damn sure. Sorry,
Thanks, man. That's cool.
Yeah, before when I was streaming on or looking at the YouTube videos, I was actually collecting whatever books I can grab for whenever I wasn't online. And then luckily I happened to catch you guys and stuff, and it's awesome. It's much better than reading from a book to be able to talk to someone face to face, and it's a lot more interactive, you know.
Sure.
So I definitely appreciate the whole new platform.
Well, dude, that's fucking awesome. I want to show you guys something real quick. So, you know, we were talking about THC V. So this is Jacked Up. This is a strain that I made using Heroes of the Farm. And you can see right here that, excuse me, sorry, the THCV is fucking 15% on this thing, though. THCV acts on the CB2 receptors to reduce pain, inflammation, cerebral palsy, MS patients, elderly people. So this strain does not move. This Galactic Jack people don't get it because it's such a medicinal strain. But the reason people don't get these is because we have too many fucking Jacks on our menu. It's that simple. Because I like to name everything Jack because Jack Hare was a friend of mine. But I need you guys to know that there's not just strains named fucking Jack, and there's not like 10 of them. They're all just the same shit. This strain right here was bred to have high THCV. So if you got pain, rheumatoid arthritis, this is a strain. It's got a high limonene content. You can see all of the terpenes it has. It has the pinene, alpha, and beta. That's why it has that fucking lemon flavor that's so strong. Then you have the other you got Mercium in there. You got limonene, which is a little bit of the orange, the citronella. All of these are known to work on the CB2 receptor. So this is where science meets medicine. So I just wanted to show you guys that we can really get pretty serious on the whole THC V analysis. So this is what it looks like outside. It's a fire ash train. This is indoors by me. That's pretty sick, eh?
Can I see outdoor?
That's good work, man.
Thank you, brother.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
Right?
That's dang.
Again, I mean, we don't get that many orders for it. Tony, so he's a Michigan rep. I mean, people buy it's not hot, and I'm telling you, it's fucking hot.
Yeah, I found an apricot pheno.
Yeah. It's badass, dude. So anyway, you guys check that out.
Doesn't that THCV like act as an appetite suppressant or something?
Absolutely. It crushes appetite for people with, you know, who like to pound it a little bit. This is another test result that somebody sent me. And again, you can see now this one's 2%, but look at the whopper fucking THC on this one. I mean, 25%. That's pretty damn strong. And Iron Labs is strong. Anyway. You guys seen this? This is the. Is that you, me?
That was me.
This is the Purgatory outdoors at Mendo Dopes. Look at the fucking resin on that thing for outdoors.
Yeah, I was about to say, damn.
Sticky bit.
Right? Yeah, she's fucking sick, dude.
Resin
One of
top.
my favorite screens. And that's fucking fire.
Yeah, that's the picture I wanted to see. That cola. Damn.
Right? And they had like 100 of them that big. So
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to those boys. They definitely know what they're doing.
they do. And it's been fun, like I say, it's been fun to watch them. They didn't grow trees the first time I met them, and then the second year they grew the trees, and now they just
They grow in umbrella buds. So. We're going to do Hercules on the deck, guys, just so you know.
Nice. Ready for another question?
Yes, sir.
Ryan Miller would like to know, do you remember the first time you smoked killer hash? Where was you and how old were ya?
That's a good question. And wow, you're a smart guy. I got 2 stories. You know, the first time I smoked hash was much older in life. We didn't know what keef was. Not really. No, we didn't understand keef because we had we smoked Mexican. We smoked combo when I was a kid. We didn't know what keef was. And hash never made it to our shores. Just good Colombian, sometimes Hawaiian, sometimes some good Mexicans. Then later when we got to Sinsemilla, we didn't know about hash again. So it was pretty late in life. When I was in Savannah, I'll never forget, I actually got some hash that somebody smuggled back from Cincy Seed Shop in Amsterdam. And it was these like 5 little sticks that were all pressed together, and you broke them off and smoked them. It was Frenchy style hash. It left a little puck, but man, it had that cool hash taste. I'll never forget that hash taste. So I used to actually look for hash after that. And my favorite thing to smoke back then, because I told you weed wasn't that great. So I would take my weed and I would crush it up, like crush up a quarter. And then I would take like 4 or 5 grams of hash and I would chop it up with a razor blade. And I would mix it all the way across in a camera case and carry it around with me and smoking the pipe. So, but this, I was got to tell you 5 fucking stories. So we used to get this fucking half-ass weed. It was full of seeds and sticks and shit like that. So I had heard of black ganja. And I knew that it could be sold for a lot and shit like that. And it was supposed to be good. And so I kind of looked up, trying to figure out how to make it. So we basically took a bunch of weed and we put it in jars. And we put water in it, and then we buried it in the ground and we let it rot, which is fucking pretty repugnant now that we know what we know about weed. Back then, whatever. We take it out, we pour it out, and we let it dry. And we had African black ganja weed. So basically, we took swag and we turned it into African black ganja. And I guarantee we didn't do anything chemically to alter this shit. But everybody thought it was fucking fire because it was the hype, you know? It was like, yeah, man, they got the African black ganja, and everybody was smoking it and shit. And everybody's talking about how good it was and shit. I swear to God, it got worse instead of better. So we made black ganja in a jar. So.
Someone actually came up with a pretty good idea. How about giving away a chance to one of the Weed Nerd fans to sit on the panel show for a bit? I know space is limited, but it would be pretty cool. At least I think so, says Dreddy Bill.
I mentioned that last week. Dago almost had a fucking heart attack when we mentioned that. But I still think, because we can ban people and stuff like that, I don't think that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I mean, we don't have to answer the question right now. We could come up with a small contest so that we know the person's not a wanker or an asshat. And then you could earn a spot on the channel, you know, maybe get somebody to ask them a lot of questions or something like that. Take 10 minutes in subs chair, sitting there answering fucking questions or something. I don't know. But yeah, I am definitely open to it, to answer your question.
Okay, this is gonna be hard because I don't know if you know these or not. But someone says, have you tried the rove beetle or the Stratiolapis scimatus wormsily? They are beneficial insects for gnats and other things.
No, but I really wish you had emailed me those Latin names to tjgenetics@gmail.com so that I can look them up. Because we're on like 7th attempt to take care of these fucking gnats here. So I would love the information on them. I don't know about them.
All right, here's an easy one. Are feminized seeds weaker THC than regular seeds? Love what you're doing, Big City 204. Thanks.
Thank you. No, I cannot say they're less or more THC. They simply, in my opinion, have the ability to harm, and you're going to have small problems like they're not going to be pest resistant. They may not have the proper stem support, and they may not be true breeding. Some people don't care about this stuff, but I do. I think a non-feminized version is always better than a feminized version.
Hey, Malik or Sub, please tell me and a lot of others how we can donate if we are on a mobile device. I've tried, but I can't. Thanks, brother. And he brings up a really good point.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll research that and try to come up with an answer for the next show. I don't really know for sure, but I sure appreciate your trying and everything. I'd also wanted to take this time because we're just doing questions here in North Central. So one of the main reasons I put up the show today is, and I know we're sitting here answering questions and questions and questions and questions, but I deleted the last show. And a lot of times people actually take and sit the time to ask me nice questions or make music suggestions or comments like that. So I think this show will stay up. So hopefully you guys will do that. So please feel free to drop by and say anything you want to in the comment section. I do read them all. And that kind of moves us forward with information. So Fada, I see you're back, brother. How you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm doing okay. The plants are looking good. I have a question for you, and then maybe the chat room can help on this one. But, I received these plants from a good friend of mine, and I have run his beans before, and they're phenomenal. But these plants were in plastic buckets. As you know, I like to go aeropods. He used a different soil mix. It's, I don't know. I don't know what's quite in it. I'm not sure, buyer beware. But nevertheless, I'm noticing some stacking. I've transplanted into my soil or our soil. I'm using our techniques and such, the no-till and all, but the plants didn't really change colors, didn't do anything. They really brought it out, got wide, but it seems like the nodal stacking's happening, and I'm wondering, if that's a new change thing, if you've ever noticed that, because usually I grow my own shit, but I wanted to get back up on air because I got home and nothing to do, and I gave all my beans away to a good friend, and I won't talk about it.
Well, if you need anything.
Oh, brother, no, you got me covered. This is in the past, and the past is the past. But when I got home, I was just, I was kind of naked and afraid. I had nothing going on. My room was bare naked. I had been taken half apart and stuff. So I was trying to get back on my feet. I'm not one to not have plants going, dude. I'm usually running about 21 in flower, and I usually have between 18 and sometimes as much as 40 in some state of edge, So I'm kind of been knocked back, but I'm on my feet, man. I'm running hard, Looked like everybody had a reset this year. I mean, Wookiee, he smashed his whole shit up, and Dago had powder, and people got bugs, and I don't know, time to rethink the game, you know what I mean? But yeah, I just thought maybe I'd pass that by. I just went out there and kind of did a little deeper ravishing cut. I do a 357. Have I ever told you that? You know what I talk about with the 357?
No.
Well, listen, what I do when I set up on my inside for my scrog, my lower branches, I usually leave 3 or 5 nodes. The next set of branches, I'll go 5 to 7. The next set of branches, I stay in those number ranges, 7 to 9. And then I'll let them nug up in that order. That way, the bottom branches, the energy's focused on 3 sites to 5 sites. The next set, more sites. And it seems to let the bottom one stretch up and nug up closer. And as I go up through the plant, it seems like the grouping of nugs or the grouping of nodes get tighter. And I've just had some really good success over the years with that. So I thought I'd share that. It's a 357 or 579 or, however wide you're growing your girls. Light penetration had a lot to do with that. But, these new LED lights, man, they've got this color shit, and I'm interested as hell because I'm not one for a lot of power. If I could back that down, I feel it on me, after all these years of standing underneath those big bright lights, and it affects you after a while. It beats you down.
Yeah. I tell you what, you mentioned something funny. So, and I want to tell everybody watch and listen up. 438 people still watching. Make sure that you use protective glasses in the room. I'll tell you what, my eyes are fucking shot because I have spent 35 years staring up at fucking artificial lights. You guys have watched me grow. I grow from the floor up. It's just the way I work. I don't have tables. And I look the fuck up, and I'm staring at 1,000 watt lights. And I'm just in the last couple of years started wearing the Method 7s. I know Dung Beetle, they just sent him some, and I'm going to tell you guys to wear those motherfuckers in your room. It's not just about seeing the plants in the true colors. 1,000 watt high pressure sodiums are not made to be fucking looking at them. And I see Fodder shaking his head. He's probably looked at a fucking ton of them. So wear your hat in your grow room and wear your goddamn glasses, or you're going to be blind like I am.
Let me ask you a question on that, Sub. Do you see a lot of floaters?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you? I do too. I've been like the last couple of years, it just started happening. I see floaters all over the fucking place.
From the lights, you think?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
I close my eyes, I can see shit moving back and forth, and I think it's the light burning holes in you. I do.
Really? Fucking with your retina. Huh? See,
the cones in your eyes. It messes with the cones in your eyes. The frequency of the light will actually, it'll stop the cones in places because it shifts really quick. These light bulbs, the frequencies are changing all the time in these type of light bulbs now. That's why I want to move over to LEDs and stuff, because it's a constant light. It's a constant frequency, where the shit we're using there, you know, it's blasting all over the place. I can sit in there and actually watch my light change colors. Yep. It's weird, the spectrum. But I think part of it's my eyes, and I get my eyes done every year. I've had eye issues, and some of you know what they are, but I'll leave it there. Nevertheless, you know, I try to be truthful with the optometrist, but you know, I don't tell him about those floaters because I know he's going to want to go in and do something. And while at my age, man, I don't know, fucking with my eyes. You know, it's the last thing.
I ain't no fucking with my eyes either. So yeah, you guys pay attention to that. I mean, there's staring. It's no different than staring in the sun, to be honest with you. It's just not smart. But I say glasses too, but hats too. I see Dung wears a hat, and I know that saves his butt, but how you look right now is how you need to be going in. Badger today, when Badger was out working today in the sunshine, he had a shade hat on and glasses. Anyway, I'm beating a horse to death, but you learn this when you hit 45, 50, and you fucking. I had perfect vision my entire life, and when I got my.
That just scared me with what you guys said, you and Tricky, because I have always worn my hat and glasses, and I don't have those issues, and you guys have. Wow, that's fucking crazy. I am so glad.
So you see floaters too, huh, Fada?
I've seen floaters for probably the last probably 20 years, maybe 22 years, but I've been growing, man, a long, long time. And we did some pretty stupid things with lights back in the days, and I won't talk about that shit, man.
You know, I didn't even know what they were until I started getting them a couple years ago, and when it started happening, and it scared the shit out of me because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, welders have it really bad too. I mean, it's similar to welder's flash, what we're doing to our eyes over a long period of time, and cataracts and things will try to build up to block those. That's why those glasses. Listen, young man, get them fucking glasses. Get them glasses. Get them. Then don't buy cheap ones, because get good optics. That's the important part. Get good optics. Don't play with your eyes. They're so important in this, and you got to have your eyes to see your girls. You know.
Yep. And if you guys don't know this watching the show, it's pretty basic stuff for us, but you can hold your cell phone up to a pair of Method 7s to take a picture of your crop, and it white balances, and it looks really nice. So
really, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
I've never seen better than through these things. They're like high def vision. They really are better than any other glasses.
I put them on my GoPro. I put them over my Nikon. When I take pictures, and when I got my different colored light on, man, I snap them. They look gorgeous. I don't have to play with them in Photoshop.
That's smart.
Fuck yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up here in just a few minutes. I want to thank my panel for hanging out on a boring night, even though our fans never let us down. Felt like it was slow tonight, but we answered a lot of questions, which people never, ever, ever, ever run out of questions. And we do appreciate all that. I do appreciate also all of the mods in the channel that aren't on the panel. There's a lot of people. Do you do me a favor, Tricky, and shout them out if you don't mind real quick?
Oh, yeah, boy. Let me see. We got Pixel Monkey. We got Barbie. We got, no GG's in here. Who else is that? I think it might just be Pixel Monkey and Barbie in here right now.
Cool. Well, we sure appreciate all the work behind the scenes, because it takes, Dung had me add somebody last night. I can't remember who it was, but it takes a lot of people to keep up with the channel, the trolls and all that stuff. We could not run the show. I was talking to somebody today, and they were complimenting me on the show, and I said, whoa, 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 back up. I said, all my dumb ass did was start talking on the damn camera. I said, a couple of nice young men came on board. They actually guided the show to where it is today. Then we have nice people like Fodder coming on, and Tony comes on, Bo, all the guests and everything. That's what made the show. But seriously, I said it last night. I'll say it again today. Malik's not just sitting there listening to us, okay? He's fucking working. And Sid, same thing, even the question man, and Dung as well. So this show would not be what it is without you guys, and I do appreciate it very much. We're stream nerds, and we fucking love it.
Yeah, baby. Hashtag stream nerds. We love it.
I just want to give one shout out before we shut down, and it's right back at Boston Baked Buds again. I just want everybody to go hit them guys up and sub up and check out their Nerd Till setup, and they're really good videos. So go check those guys out.
Very fucking cool, and we still have 420 people watching. Again, I cannot believe the support we have. I guess there are people just like sitting around talking about weed. So. Very soon, maybe I'll talk to Sid in just a minute. Maybe we can get this music thing sorted out because I feel weird without jamming the music, but I don't want to jam shitty music. So we'll get that fixed so the radio part of the show can continue. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. You know the deal. Do something nice for everybody. Don't be a dickhead, and have a dank day.
Thanks, guys. Chat. Much love.
Everybody. Good night, weed nerds.